T&D Sports, an exclusive video broadcast.
Welcome, everybody, to the next edition of the National Public Safety Football League, and that's the FDNY Bravest against the Tri-State Shields. We are live from Staten Island, St. Peter's Boys High School. And John, I'm Mike Blood, your host, along with John Heffernan, my buddy, my partner in crime.
That's right, back again.
We're back here for another season. It's a beautiful day. We finally have a beautiful day, and we're here to watch some spring football with our nation's heroes competing.
Yeah, well, I'm super excited. You know, Tri-State already with a game under their belt. Fire department a little bit delayed to the start of their season. And like you said, a beautiful day for football. I'm really excited for this matchup in particular. Lots of changes from last year to this year, and we'll break it all down for you, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely. So Tri-State Shields got off to a great start against the Roanoke Rampage. 42-14, they claimed their victory in their first game of the year. And, John, these two teams have played 4 times since Tri-State was founded in 2021, FDNY holding a 3-1 edge. A couple of years ago, they had an overtime game. Last year, pretty hard-fought game, 17-8 victory for FDNY.
Yeah, you know, we talked a little bit about that, Mike, prior to the start of this one. And when it comes to Tri-State, it really starts and ends with their quarterback, David Ugart. Ugart, you know, a multi-threat guy, dual-threat guy, can run the ball, had 3 rushing touchdowns against Roanoke, and 2 through the air. He's certainly going to be a player that the defense of the fire department is going to have to keep a very close eye on.
Yeah, one thing that we also discussed, John, is that there was a pretty significant turnover of players on this FDNY Bravest roster.
Absolutely. 28 to be specific, Mike. 28 guys no longer on this fire department team. The 2025 iteration also has a new offensive coordinator in Vinny Sheeta as we take a look at the fire department coming out on the field right now. And Sheeta was telling me prior to the game, Mike, that as a result of this smaller numbers roster, the team is tighter. They're a veteran group. But I have heard the word rebuilding this year in 2025 for FDNY. So we'll see. Their first test today, it's going to be a stiff one against the Tri-State Shields.
Yeah, a couple of key players for FDNY. Key players for FDNY, both of whom are St. Peter's Prep Boys High School alumnus. And we're going to start it out with Eric Ortega. He's a wide receiver, John, 9th season with FDNY. He played at Pace University after his high school career at St. Peter's.
Yeah, I mean, one of the captains of this FDNY team, brings a ton of leadership and obviously an incredible offensive ability at the receiver position. One of the go-to targets for the new quarterback, Rob Wheeler, who's going to be getting the start here today.
And on the other side of the ball, Richie Richards. He plays linebacker, but also double duty at offensive line. Again, a lot of experience. Played at Stony Brook, and this is his 9th season with FDNY.
Yeah, I mean, the heart and soul of this defense, you're not going to see Rich come off the field. Richie Rich, I got to tell you, he is chomping at the bit. There's going to be a lot of attention played to the quarterback for Tri-State, and it's going to be up to Richie Richards and co. to stop.
Key players for Tri-State Shields, Joshua Jimenez, offensive lineman. He played at Lehman High School. It's his 6th season with the Tri-State Shields, and he's a member of New York City Police Department.
Yeah, Jimenez has really risen to the top as far as leadership goes for the Tri-State Shields. He used to play in the defensive line, has made the switch to the O-line, is the anchor of the offensive line for the Shields.
Yeah, and lastly, key players for Tri-State Shields, Nico Rodriguez. He's a cornerback, and he's a 6th season with the Tri-State Shields.
Nico Rodriguez, one of a kind of young secondary for the Tri-State Shields.
We'll get ready now for our nation's anthem.
So he
All right, there we go, folks. We're going to get started here in a couple of minutes on the kickoff. Technically, Tri-State Shields is the home team today, but a lot of these are neutral site games. So we have obviously a lot of friends and family here today on this holiday weekend, Easter weekend, Passover weekend. So happy holidays out there to all you who are celebrating. I know I'll be doing some celebrating over the course of this weekend. And I'm just excited we have weather that we can bask in the sun here for a few
Yeah,
days.
definitely humid out there as well. It's a bit overcast. These guys are going to have to stay hydrated. I got to tell you, though, I want to talk a little bit more, Mike, about that game down in Charlotte, North Carolina, between Tri-State and Roanoke. Don't forget, Roanoke were the runners-up to the national champions, losing to the New York City Police Department in 2024.
Yeah.
And Tri-State ran absolutely roughshod over Roanoke. And if there can be any carryover today, there's got to be some confidence coming from this sideline from the Tri-State Shields.
Clearly, David Ugart, as you mentioned earlier, the quarterback, really important part of this offense, as well as Miguel Masonette. Miguel Masonette played at Stony Brook. He had NFL experience, so a very powerful backfield, the two of them being able to share the ball.
In addition to Marlon Beckles, and they will be the 1-2 backs for Ugarte to go to in what is typically a spread offense, a pro-style set that you're going to see from Tri-State as the captains gather at the 50-yard line midfield for the coin toss as they
FDNY,
shake
John,
hands.
had won 15 games in a row before their last game, which was against NYPD in the Fun City Bowl, a loss for them. Their first loss in 16 games, so they're certainly trying to get back on the winning track.
Without a doubt, and we talked about it just moments ago, a new quarterback in Rob Wheeler. Tommy Heedles has now moved to wide receiver for the fire department in New York, and Wheeler is also a dual threat guy. He can run the football, strong arm, and it's really going to be up to that offensive line, Mike. Only two players from last year's team back on the offensive line, and you might even see guys going both ways today, according to Vinny Sheeta, the new offensive coordinator. And that could include big number 95 that you see out there in Denzel Wilson, who's starting today at nose tackle, but you might see him take a couple of reps on the offensive line today as well.
So the result of the coin toss is FDNY will be receiving to take the game. We'll take a quick break and be back for the start of the FDNY Bravest for the Tri-State Shields.
Ever wonder who helps our everyday heroes when they need support? Enter fundthefirst.com, a unique crowdfunding platform dedicated to first responders, their families, and their friends. Unlike typical sites, we don't take a cut. Every dollar goes directly to those in need. Whether it's for emergency medical bills, family emergencies, or equipment, fundthefirst.com is there. It's our chance to give back to those who risk it all for us. From police officers to firefighters, these heroes deserve our support. Want to make a real impact? Check out fundthefirst.com and show our heroes that we've got their backs. It's time to support those who always support us.
And we are back. Couple of rule notes for you. Dynamic kickoff in play, just like it has been adopted in the NFL. It's adopted here. So you'll see the dynamic kickoff here. As you can see, the lineup, the players lined up here just a few yards from one another. Obviously trying to keep everybody as safe as possible during these explosive plays.
And essentially that means, Mike, they've got to hold at the 40 until the ball lands.
Correct.
The kicking team. In this case, it's Tri-State.
Correct. Who do we have kicking off here? Is that Ugart? I believe it is.
Yes, Ugart doing the and I talked to you before the game. It is Ugart. It's not Ugarte. And I believe that was Sean Cosgriff with a spectacular rendition of the national anthem with the electric guitar.
Fired up.
He's out of, I think, ladder 156, the highway. So thanks to Sean Cosgriff.
So
terrific
back to
job.
receive here. We're going to have Eric Ortega. We mentioned he's one of the key players today. And then Evan Flowers, another wide receiver. He stands at 6 foot, 200 pounds. He played at CW Post.
Flowers really is the Swiss Army knife of this fire department team. And we're
Short
underway.
kick. That one's going to roll out of bounds, so we're going to start with a penalty. Tough kick there, but the FDNY will be happy to take over at what will likely be the 40-yard line.
Well, Ugart doing the kicking. I mean, we haven't talked much about special teams yet, Mike, and obviously one of the best kickers of the game happens to be on the fire department of New York and Francis Cole, and that guy is the real deal.
Yeah, we've watched him last year several times hit 50-yarders in games. A secret weapon for the, not so secret anymore, but an incredible weapon for FDNY. When they get to the opposing 35-yard line, they are in distance because he can hit 50-yarders.
And, you know, Rob Wheeler, Heedles got the majority of the snaps in 2024. Rob Wheeler, as we mentioned, getting the start today. Did get quite a few looks at quarterback last year, but was not the starter throughout. And he said he's super excited for this opportunity.
Dynamic player, though. Played a lot of wide receiver last year and had the ball in his hands a lot. So here's Wheeler under center to start the game. One set in the backfield. That's Tremaine Wilson. He'll take the handoff. He's off the right tackle. And that's good for 6-7 yards to start the game.
And Trey Wilson a little dinged up coming into this one, according to head coach Cam Peake, but he looked pretty good there, Mike. You got to like the push, too, and a huge hole. So much for that inexperienced offensive line.
Good start for the FDNY to start the season. All right, Bravest will have the ball. 2nd and 3 from their own 47-yard line. Wheeler with Tremaine Wilson in the I formation. Some in motion. That's Waterman in motion. And they go back to Wilson yet again. He's off the left tackle this time. He breaks it. He's past the 50. He's down across the 40-yard line. Big gain there for Wilson. He's down to the Tri-State Shields 39-yard line.
And obviously the biggest run of the day today for Wilson. We'll take a look at it again. A 2-receiver set to the left. Very important in the blocking and creating just a couple extra yards there as number 2 for FDNY. Flowers throwing a big block.
15 yards on that scamper for Wilson, so good start for FDNY to move the ball down the field. And we have a new back in there for the Bravest. Wheeler again in shotgun, and that's a handoff to, who's that, Santana?
Number 28 for the fire department of New York, and that is
Trevor Elam.
Yeah, Elam is the number 2 back and has emerged into that spot with having a very strong preseason.
All right, so what you'll find during this game, John, obviously for those people tuning in, a lot of guys play both ways. So we're going to see guys mixing it up, playing a little bit of linebacker, a little bit of running back. Elam is one of those players, and he'll be in the backfield again on this 2nd down and 7 for FDNY. Man in motion, that is Flowers. And Wheeler rolls out to his right. He's back to pass. He's going to tuck it and run. He's got a few yards, not quite the first down.
And I like that out of Wheeler. He didn't have anything open, tucked it, picked up a few, and safely ran out of bounds. Doesn't have to get crazy and force anything down the field at this stage.
Yeah. So just a couple of minutes into this drive, they've moved it across to the 31-yard line. But a key 3rd down here. It'll be 3rd and 3. Like I said, already in field goal range with Cole having such a big leg. But we'll see if they can pick up a 1st down to sustain this drive. It'll be Wheeler in shotgun with Elam right next to him.
Richie Richards, number 33, also playing on the offensive line today.
We got a pitch here. That's to Heedles. Heedles tries to get outside for the 1st down. I don't think he got there. I think it'll be 4th and short.
It was close. We'll take one more look at it here. But the offensive line, Mike, doing a pretty good job
Yeah, they went with a little bit of an option pitch there to Heedles, but a nice job by Tri-State Shields running him out of bounds. It'll be 4th down. They're going to be aggressive here early, just a couple minutes into the game. Cole is not out here. They're going to be running a play here on 4th down.
Another guy to watch defensively for Tri-State is the quarterback Brian Malone out of the Yonkers Fire Department. Stepinac graduate in White Plains, New York. Malone is an absolute beast.
We got a timeout. It looks like FDNY didn't like the setup there that the Tri-State Shields are showing them on defense. Hope you like our setup so far. We're going to hit a break right here and come back with more action at St. Peter's High School.
Our mission is providing that support, advocacy, and awareness for organ donation. Be a forever hero, donate life is the message we want to get out there.
As an FDNY firefighter, he was a hero in life. As an organ donor, Billy Moon, also a hero in death.
FDNY firefighter Billy Moon's heart was successfully transplanted into 63-year-old Richard Grell last December.
And as his widow, Christina, processed her heartbreak and her grief, she fulfilled a promise that was made to her husband and donated his organs so others could live. 5 lives were saved in the process.
There are around 103,000 people waiting for a transplant across the country. One person can save 8 lives and improve up to 75 more.
We're back 4th down here. 11 minutes and 35 seconds and counting here for the Bravest. Trying to pick up 4th and 3. You've got Ortega in motion, and Wheeler rolls out to the left. He's going to take it himself. He's going to get the first down and a little bit more. We have a flag there. Is that a crackback block? I believe it might be, or a hold.
It might be.
We've got a hold on FDNY Bravest. You know, one player to watch, too, defensively for Tri-State Shields defense. Preston Iwagiran stands 6'8", 320 pounds, John. He stands out amongst all these linemen. He's number 34 for the Tri-State Shields. But it looks like we got a hold there, and it's going to push it back to 4th and 12, it should be.
I think that's going to go against the 6'6" Adam Jensen, number 85.
All right, 4th down. But now, tricky part here, John. Not only did it not reverse him for the first, that should be 4th down. Yeah. So not only does it take away the first down, it pushes them back to the 40-yard line, making that a 57-yard field goal attempt. And as good as Francis Cole is, that's a bit of a risk.
We're not going to see that. You talk about guys standing out. Jensen, 6'6", 260 out of ladder 78.
He played right here in Staten Island in college, at Wagner College.
Lined up at the tight end position.
All right, Wheeler in the shotgun with Trey Wilson behind him. He's looking to pass. He's got Flower. He's got Ortega. Ortega complete. They're not going to get there, though. So Tri-State holds on 4th down, and they'll head back to the – they'll get our first look at offense for Tri-State Shields.
As we see it one more time, Wheeler finds his favorite target in Ortega. And look to shake that one tackler, but not to be, and FD is short.
Yeah, well short of the line there. I think they were trying to get into Ortega's hands, hoping he could make a move and pick up the first down, but a nice job by the Shields to make a tackle there. But here we go. Tri-State Shields offense. Starting offense will be highlighted by Ugart. And in the backfield, we'll have a couple of guys here. Looks like Mike Sherman lines up at fullback, and then Miguel Masonette, who we highlighted before the show, at running at tailback here.
Keep an eye on number 55, Justin Hassan, the linebacker, 230-pounder out of the University of Albany, the middle linebacker.
And Masonette gets the carry on first down, but nice job by the Bravest defense tackling him right at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
We'll take a look at it one more time. They see Masonette and immediately converging a slew of FDNY defenders.
Like Kumi Stevens, it looks like, on the tackle there. 6'6", 275. A lot of size on these lines, John.
Ugart in the shotgun. And
we're going to have a penalty here. Broken play. Ugart throws deep. It looks like a broken play. I think that's going to be offsides on the Bravest.
Yeah.
So Ugart was just trying to make something happen on a free play.
Denzel Wilson, big number 95. Great technique on that offensive line at the nose tackle position. A little extra anxious. But it just goes to show you the penetration and how important timing is, especially at that position. You're keying on the center, you're keying on the ball, and sometimes you guess right, sometimes you don't.
Yeah. Wilson, a key player for this team. He dominated certain games that we called last year. He stays a 6'4", 300 pounds, went to Cardozo High School. All the FDNY players are FDNY Fire Department members. Not the case for Tri-State Shields. We have a mixture of guys from different municipal organizations. But here we go on second down. Ugart throws. That's complete. And he picks up the first down. That'll be, so they take advantage of that penalty, John, and they come out throwing, and they're going to have a first down right near midfield.
And that was Chris Cribbs with the reception. He dragged a couple of tacklers for a few extra yards.
All right, same
Penalty's
setup
a
in the
problem,
backfield
Mike.
here, John. Again, offsides on FDNY, and they're going to call it dead. So FDNY defensive line anxious to start the game.
Yeah, and I think that really speaks to this being their first game of the year. A little rusty, and some guys playing new positions. As we mentioned, Tri-State was clicking on all cylinders against Roanoke. And when you think about it, Mike, the last snap that counted for this fire department team, June 1st of 2024.
Yeah, it's been a long layoff. But here you go. Ugart under center on first down, 1st and 5. In FDNY territory, it goes right up the middle. They hand up to Mike Sherman, the fullback.
Sherman gets stacked up, and there's my guy right there, number 55, in on the tackle for the fire department of New York.
It's Justin Hassan on the tackle. We're back to Ugart in shotgun. You have Masonette and Sherman in the backfield with him. Looks like he's going with an audible here. Out wide, you'll have Marlon Beckles in motion. That is Chris Cribbs, who had the reception earlier. And now Masonette goes wide. He goes into the slot. And they go with a draw play. That's Sherman right up the middle again. It'll be stopped after a gain of 1 or 2, but it'll be an important 3rd and 2 here for the Tri-State Shields.
Yeah, again, we're seeing a lot of what we saw last year at the start of this game, Mike. A defensive battle both ways, and the D-line comes through. Once again for the fire department, in on the tackle for the FDNY was number 14.
Ugart comes out throwing there. That is not a lateral. I think FDNY is treating it as a fumble, but that was not a lateral. That was a forward pass. So Ugart tried to get a quick hitter there out to Masonette, but that pass was dropped. Incomplete pass there. They might have had a little something there, John, if he caught it.
So it's going to be an incomplete pass.
Yep. All right, this is 4th down. Tri-State being similarly aggressive here. Obviously not in field goal range. They're not looking to punt here. But on a 4th and 2 from the FDNY 44, Ugart in the backfield with Sherman. He's got 3 wide to his left, 1 wide to his right. And he's looking to throw. And he's got to complete to Chris Cribbs across the 30-yard line. He fumbles at the end of the run, And that looks like FDNY Bravest picks it up. Man, they get the first down, John, and turn it right over. Big play there for Bravest.
And it was Anthony Phipps, Johnny on the spot. And it was the first time that the quarterback for Tri-State had some time to throw the ball. David Ugart hits his target. But that secondary for FDNY, they are experienced, they are quick, and they hit hard. And it popped loose there, and we've got our first turnover of the ball game, Mike.
You know, John, fundthefirst.com is the #1 trusted and free fundraising platform for those who serve their families and their friends. Fund the First is in the business of supporting first responders, military, and medical professionals. Visit fundthefirst.com today to launch your fundraiser. We're going to launch a second drive here for the FDNY Bravest offense. They will take over at their own 26-yard line. Again, we're going to have the same backfield setup with Wheeler, and he gets it out wide to number 24. That is...
Number 24 is
Kasim
John
Thomas.
Moody.
No, Kasim Thomas. There we go. Sorry. Kasim Thomas on offense. He's 5'10", 190. He gets the pass.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking at the wrong roster. My bad. And we got a player down. It's number 15 for Tri-State.
All right, we got a player down. We're going to go
Rodriguez.
to a commercial right now and come back with more action live from Staten Island.
We frequently either stop looking for signs of hope and praying for a swift end to our agonizing pain. As one who has walked down this road, I can honestly say that nothing I have ever done has given me more hope, more relief, or renew my courage like my relationship to ECAN, especially the reception of my new best friend, Dozer.
Okay, we're back here live from St. Peter's Boys High School in Staten Island. FDNY Bravest taking on the Tri-State Shields. Nick Rodriguez banged up on the play, but he walked off. He's okay walking it off. Before we get back to live action, I'd like to tell you about the Billy Moon Foundation. Organ donation can have a profound impact on not just a recipient, but donors and communities as well. We strive to be that lifeline of support for those in need. Visit BillyMoonFoundation.org for more information on how you can register to become an organ donor today. All right, John, FDNY Bravest back in action on offense.
Yeah, huge break for the fire department because David Ugart had a little time to throw that ball and was putting together a pretty nice drive until the first turnover of the game, and Wheeler hands it off.
All right, Wheeler hands it off there. They pick up a few yards. That was to Trevor Ellum. So we're going to have a third down and 3 here from their own 34-yard line. So key down here for FDNY Bravest. There's 7:39 left in the first quarter here. Third down and 3. Wheeler in the backfield here with Wilson behind him. They hand off to Wilson off the left side. He pushes forward close to a first down. I don't think he got there, John. It'll be 4th and 1 from the 35.
David Diaz from Tri-State, number 56. And number 34 is David Diaz, 6'1", 315. Keep an eye on this guy. He's involved in the tackle right there.
You were Gearin pushing that whole pile there, John. At 6'8", 320. He's got the ability to do that. All right, 4th down from their own 35. Aggressive here. 2 in the backfield, along with, no, I'm sorry. There's a punt from Cole. He gets it off there way downfield, and it's picked up by Beckles. He returns it about 5 yards, gets it back to the 14-yard line. It'll be 1st down for the Tri-State Shields offense from their own 14-yard line. I thought they were being extremely aggressive. Sorry, I missed that. Francis Cole with a booming punt. We'll head to a break right now and come back with more action live from St. Peter's High School.
My mom was the most amazing person in my life.
I would definitely consider my mom as a hero.
I love and miss my mom very much.
The worst day of my life was the day that my mother was murdered on July 5th, 2017. That same night in the hospital, when my brother and sister asked me who was going to take care of them after I had to break the horribly tragic news that our mother had been murdered, I said, I will take care of you.
There are over 1,000 families that need our help. Tunnel to Towers is honoring those heroes that risked their lives by providing them with mortgage-free homes.
First responders are human too. They have fears and families that they need to come home to. For just $11 a month, you can give back to these heroes who gave up so much for you and ensure that their families will always have a home.
Please donate $11 a month by visiting tunneltotowers.org or calling 1-844-BRAVEST. Thank you.
So how many saw Forrest Gump? Well, I'm Gary Sinise, and I play Lieutenant Dan.
Hello, I'm Gary Sinise, and while you may recognize me from movies or television, my life's mission has been to honor and support our nation's veterans, servicemen and women, first responders, our most severely wounded heroes, the families of our fallen, and those suffering from the invisible wounds of war.
I appreciate everything that you do for our troops.
Thank you for what you do for these veterans.
What you do for the soldiers.
All right, we're back. 1st down for Tri-State Shields, and Ugard keeps it good for a couple of yards. It'll be 2nd and 8 for the Tri-State Shields offense. All right, so both teams get into opposing territory early, not able to do anything with it. Unfortunate turnover for Tri-State. FDNY got stopped on their 4th down attempt, but we'll see if we can get another sustained drive here out of Tri-State.
How about that punt from Francis Cole? I mean, this guy is the best in the league.
Consistently the best kicker in the league and one of the most impressive players in the entire league, to be honest, John. Just consistently booming kicks, whether he's field goals or punts. Got it. All right, we're going to put up the FDNY defense here. This was the starting lineup today. Obviously, we highlighted Richards earlier. We know about Denzel Wilson there in the middle, but Frank Zerbo, another key contributor. John Moody in the backfield, Tim Dollison, a lot of key players here with experience on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, Dollison, definitely a player to watch in the secondary, always involved for FDNY. We've got number 44 set up on the outside.
Here's Ugard back to pass. He throws out of bounds, incomplete. And Beckles was the intended wide receiver there. And it's going to be a quick 3 and out. Be 4th and 10 for Tri-State Shields. So they're going to head back to the sidelines. And Ugart will be doing the punting duties here. And this could be potentially great field position for FDNY here, John.
Without a doubt. So Ugart back to punt. What doesn't this guy do?
Yeah. Triple threat. Runs, throws, kicks. And we have Ortega back to receive the kick. He's standing on the Tri-State 40-yard line. So I don't think they're expecting a booming kick out of Ugart. And their kicking game has created some interesting field position for them, right? Francis Cole booms the huge kick. They go 3 and out. And now we're going to get the ball in Tri-State territory. Not a good kick at all from Ugart. That's when it's going to go right out of bounds. Maybe a 10-yard kick, and the ball will be inside the 30, I think, right on the 30-yard line. Be 1st and 10 for the Bravest. They'll have a real opportunity to score here, John.
Yeah, I mean, at least 3 points will come out of this one with Francis Cole as your kicker. But how would you characterize the start to this game, Mike? It's been a little disjointed.
Yeah.
Maybe not as much flow as we've seen from FD in the past.
Look, obviously, Tri-State had a good start to the season, dropping 40 on Roanoke, but it's still early in the season, right? So both teams don't have a lot of plays under their belt this season. I think we're seeing some of that rust early.
It also says a lot about the fire department's defense. Ugart really took off in the second half in that game against Roanoke. So right now, FD's doing a pretty good job containing.
Wheeler back to pass. He had Evan Flowers wide open for a first down, and Flowers dropped it. That was a good throw, too.
Take a look at it again. Now, this is a pass that number 2 is going to want to have back. You can't throw it much better than that.
No, I don't know I don't think it was deflected. I know somebody put a hand out there, but I don't think we got any deflection. I think it's just a straight drop. We'll see if Flowers can shake that off and make a play here. He remains in the game.
Flowers lost a couple pedals on that drop. He'll snap back. One of the most talented offensive players in the fire department of New York.
He's lined up out wide with Waterman, and you've got Kasim Thomas in the backfield. He takes the handoff there, tries to drag somebody back to the line of scrimmage, but he's dropped right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and 10 quickly, John.
Yeah, and he ran into an absolute brick wall in number 28, Maldonado.
Big play there by Maldonado.
New York City police officer, 6'1", 241. Or was that Maniscalco? I think that was number 28, Maniscalco. 5'8", 210.
All right, Wheeler and shotgun. Tremaine Wilson next to him. You've got Heedles and Ortega out wide along with Flowers. It's a throwing situation here, 3rd and 11. Wheeler back to pass. He rolls out to his right, and he throws just outside the reach of Tom Heedles. So it'll be 4th down. Will they be so bold as to kick this one? This would be a 49-yard attempt. I think Cole's got the leg. And here he comes. He's coming out.
Tommy Herrick did not like that hit that James Ingram laid on him. Very dangerous and late. Was that was Heedles or Herrick?
That was
the
Heedles.
intended?
Pass intended for Heedles.
Yeah,
and he'll have his hand down on the 40-yard line to hold for Francis Cole here. Francis Cole, an alumnus of Central Connecticut State, is where he kicked. Also St. Francis Prep High School, my alma mater in Queens. So here he is lined up for a 50-yarder.
Not a chip shot by any stretch, especially in this league.
Kick is up, a line drive. That is no good. He hooked it left, so not his best effort. Let's head to a break right here before Tri-State Shields takes back over at offense.
So how many saw Forrest Gump? Well, I'm Gary Sinise, and I play Lieutenant Dan.
Hello, I'm Gary Sinise, and while you may recognize me from movies or television, my life's mission has been to honor and support our nation's veterans, servicemen and women, first responders, our most severely wounded heroes, the families of our fallen, and those suffering from the invisible wounds of war.
I appreciate everything that you do for our troops.
Thank you for what you do for these veterans.
What you do for the soldiers, God bless you.
I lost my dad.
I know, and we want to show you that we don't forget your dad.
It's meaningful.
Yeah.
Because I didn't expect any of this, I was just happy to be alive. So when everyone showed their love and support, it's overwhelming.
Please join me to help us help our defenders who keep us safe and our communities strong. Donate today at GarySiniseFoundation.org.
And we are back. Tri-State taking over on offense. It'll be Ugart in the backfield with Mike Sherman. He's got 3 wide here. Throwing situation, it looks like here for Tri-State. He's back to pass, and that one is complete to number 2, Marlon Beckles. So quick pass, but picks up about 7 yards on that one. And we'll take a look at this entire offense. We've been talking about Ugart so far today. Jimenez, obviously a key there at guard. You told us earlier today he switched from defense to offense, and he's anchoring this offensive line, trying to protect Ugart.
Absolutely. Jimenez is definitely a guy that has emerged for Tri-State.
They go back to Beckles on that one, but that falls incomplete. So it'll be a 3rd down and 2 here for Tri-State.
Excellent coverage by Christian Malera on back-to-back plays. Malera just 5'8" out of ladder 112, but he has been like glue today at the defensive back position.
Again.
He gets
Ugart,
beat there.
He goes down the sidelines, and he does have Beckles, who breaks a tackle down the sidelines, past the 30. He cuts back inside, past the 20, down to the 15, inside the 15, down at the 12-yard line. Huge play, Ugart to Beckles for more than 40 yards on that one.
A bit of a blown coverage there, as we were just talking about Christian Malera. Christian Malera stopped. Beckles shakes off number 22, John Moody. He had a lot of daylight, but look who came all the way back to make that tackle. It was Justin Hassan.
He racks up tackles every game, John. Every game that we've watched him, Justin Hassan is right in the mix. So he's going to have Ugart back in shotgun with Sherman lined up as the fullback. He's got 3 wide to the short side of the field, and then isolated on the outside is Romel Joseph. We'll see if he's highlighted on this play. I'd expect something towards the inside here. He's back to pass the lefty Ugart right over the middle. Back to Beckles again, fighting for the end zone. Down at the 1-yard line, John. So another 1st down for Tri-State.
So Beckles, a very busy receiver on this series, makes another catch and just absolute drives that lower body. Almost gets it over the line.
And here's where Sherman, the 5'8", 215-pound fullback, might lead the way for Masonette, who's in the I formation. And they go with the fullback dive. He doesn't get there. They're going to drop him for a loss of 1.
Once again, Justin Hassan, number 55, a name you've heard quite a bit today. Drives back on that goal line defense. Well, nearly goal line defense, as FD has stacked it up.
Approaching a minute to go left in this first quarter here. And
Godfrey also in on that number 45, Mike. I want to take a look at Godfrey one more time. He has been involved quite a bit here in this series.
6'2", 250, so stout member of that defensive line. They're going to run it back in I formation here. It's Ugart with Sherman and Masonette lined up behind him. In motion, you have Chris Cribbs. And on 2nd down, he fakes the handoff, rolling out. He better get rid of that, and he does. He throws it away. And it looks like we have somebody down in the back of the end zone. We'll get an update for you on that. But we'll take a quick timeout here, and you can hear a word from our sponsors.
New York Firefighters Heart and Lung Institute is a medical center for firefighters, designed by firefighters. As a leading provider of advanced medical screenings, we take pride in offering the best healthcare experience for firefighters and first responders. Since 2002, the New York Firefighters Heart and Lung Institute has been dedicated to screening, diagnosing, and treating first responders and their families each and every day. We provide a broad range of testing and medical care, including cardiac and pulmonary testing, as well as educational seminars focused on firefighter safety throughout the USA and Canada. We are proud to have recently entered into a partnership with the Uniformed Firefighters Association to encourage all firefighters to come in and get tested. New York State awarded a grant to the UFA for testing and cancer screening, and they have partnered with the New York Firefighters Heart and Lung Institute to provide certain services at no cost to the individual. Check out FDNYHeart.com or call 516-441-7614 to schedule an individual or group firehouse visit today.
Tom Olkers served others.
He was an incredible husband, father, NYPD officer, and FDNY firefighter.
At age 26, Tom worked at Ground Zero in the rescue and recovery efforts following the attacks of 9/11.
Throughout his courageous battle against World Trade Center cancer, Tom deeply appreciated the care provided for him and his family, including the FDNY's Family Assistance Unit.
One of the TO Foundation's first initiatives is to purchase a family assistance van to help ease the burden for other firefighters and their families when facing an illness.
Together, we will honor Tom by helping first responders and their families in their hour of need. Please visit tofamilyfoundation.org today.
Ever wonder who helps our everyday heroes when they need support? Enter fundthefirst.com, a unique crowdfunding platform dedicated to first responders, their families, and their friends. Unlike typical sites, we don't take a cut. Every dollar goes directly to those in need. Whether it's for emergency medical bills, family emergencies, or equipment, fundthefirst.com is there. It's our chance to give back to those who risk it all for us. From police officers to firefighters, these heroes deserve our support. Want to make a real impact? Check out fundthefirst.com and show our heroes that we've got their backs. It's time to support those who always support us.
And we're back here at St. Peter's High School, Staten Island, New York. John Heffernan alongside Mike Blewett. I want to tell you guys a little bit about the Educated Canines Assisted with Disabilities. Our mission is to enable people with disabilities to gain greater independence and mobility through the use of specially educated dogs. Visit ECAD1.org to learn more about our Service Dogs program.
Okay, good timing there. We're back in action. And on third down, we got Ugart again. Fakes the handoff. They got a hold of him. He throws it away. Oh, he had Sherman in the back of the end zone, just out of reach. So they went with a couple of fake handoffs here. Tried a little play action, and doesn't go their way. On fourth down from the 2-yard line, what are you doing here, John?
Look at Justin Hassan. He is just like a lion in a safari as he crushes Ugart, and he
Four
puts
guys
him in a very vulnerable area.
4 guys all over him.
Draped all around him. So good pressure by the fire department.
Could be a massive goal line stand here. It could be a massive goal line stand here. They are not opting to kick with just seconds left in the first quarter. You're going to have Ugart with Sherman lined up next to him. Masonette out to the side, along with Ramel Joseph. And he does, again, play action. He's hit hard, and that is picked off. Are they going to take it back? Anthony Phipps, he's going to run with it. He's across the 20-yard line. They got him just at the 25. One man to beat. That was Ugart, and Ugart makes the tackle. So desperation throw there. They make the pick. He does run it back. He picks up a few extra yards.
It's the relentless pressure from the fire department's defensive line. This time, Michael Hart, the 6'2", 215-pounder out of FDNY EMS. Look at the pressure Hart gets right here. Bang! Disrupts the throw and allows the secondary, Anthony Phipps, with the easy interception. And the second turnover of the game, and it goes the fire department's way.
So first and goal from the 1-yard line. They got one running play, 3 play action passes. Doesn't go their way. Ends in a turnover. And great job by the FDNY defensive line creating that pressure, as John said. And we're going to have a change at quarterback here. FDNY going with Peter Calabrese at QB to start this first drive. He throws, and that pass is deflected, and it'll be second down and 10 from the 25-yard.
Calabrese, Mike, in his rookie year, I've heard lots of good things about this guy. A Mount St. Michael product in the Bronx, a great athlete, And we heard that he might see the field today. I don't think it's anything against Wheeler. It's just about getting this kid in and seeing what he can do.
Yeah, I think we see that a lot, right, in these games. You're getting people in, getting people playing time, and trying to figure out what your best options, your best offensive packages are. And we're going to have Calabrese in probably for most of the second quarter. He throws out wide here to Ortega. Quick hitter pass. They don't pick up much, though. I think he maybe picked up a yard on the play, if that.
And the nerves got to be off the charts for Calabrese.
That's the end of the quarter. So let's hear some words from our sponsors at the end of this first quarter. We'll be back with more from St. Peter's High School.
Our mission is providing that support, advocacy, and awareness for organ donation. Be a forever hero, donate life is the message we want to get out there.
As an FDNY firefighter, he was a hero in life. As an organ donor, Billy Moon, also a hero in death.
FDNY firefighter Billy Moon's heart was successfully transplanted into 63-year-old Richard Grell last December.
And as his widow, Christina, processed her heartbreak and her grief, she fulfilled a promise that was made to her husband and donated his organs so others could live. 5 lives were saved in the process.
There are around 103,000 people waiting for a transplant across the country. One person can save 8 lives and improve up to 75 more.
And we're start of the second quarter. Mike Blewett and John Heffernan here to call this National Public Safety Football League contest from St. Peter's Boys High School in Staten Island. Beautiful day here, John, on Easter weekend and Passover weekend for a lot of folks.
It is, and a pretty good crowd on hand here, Mike Blewett.
Absolutely. Filled up as this game got going. And we have a scoreless game so far to start the second quarter. FDNY has made a quick QB change. Peter Calabrese in. It'll be 3rd and 10. First couple of throws, 1 incomplete, 1 for no gain. And they're going 4 wide here. Clearly a throwing situation for Calabrese. And he fires downfield, and they do pick up the first down. Great move there after the catch.
Look at Calabrese finding Flowers. And Calabrese, apologies, the Tottenville alum, with his first completion of his FDNY career. He'll always remember that one. Good for the kid.
Nice move by Evan Flowers to get away from that tackle there. So those starting off the second quarter with a fresh set of downs. Calabrese in the backfield, that'll be Tremaine Wilson to his left. You've got Flowers and Ortega off to his left and Waterman in the slot on the right side. It's going to be a play-action pass, and Calabrese is going to keep this one. He's down the sidelines, picks up 10 yards, and a first down. Maybe a gain of 11 or 12 on the play into Tri-State territory.
James Ingram on the tackle for Tri-State out of the New York City Police Department. But if Cam Peake was looking to inject a little life into this offense, he's found his guy. As Calabrese is running roughshod with the arm, with the legs. Gotta like this kid, Mike.
Yeah, they went with the play action on that play, and he scampered for 12 yards. Nice first down there.
Speaking
so
of
the cobwebs
Cam
are off. He's gotten hit a couple of times. He's thrown a couple of passes.
He's getting
all
loose.
The cobwebs are gone. Timeout. Looks like the coaching staff of Tri-State Shields did not like the look that they were in. They call a strategic timeout. A little bit of disagreement as to what was going on there for Tri-State. And FDNY will take it to regroup and try to give them a new look on offense.
We frequently either stop looking for signs of hope and praying for a swift end to our agonizing pain. As one who has walked down this road, I can honestly say that nothing I have ever done has given me more hope, more relief. I renew my courage like my relationship to ECAN, especially the reception of my new best friend, Dozer.
All right, we are back. FDNY will have the ball. 1st and 10 from the Tri-State Shields 48-yard line. Lining up here, you got Calabrese in for the new look of this offense. Got a big completion. Scampers for a first down. And Tri-State Shields called that strategic timeout defensively, John, to make sure they got a good look.
Indeed. And we're all getting a good look at number 5 for FDNY. The quarterback, Calabrese.
Flowers in motion. Play action to Wilson. He gets it out to Flowers. Makes a move. Picks up a few. Ball on the ground, but it looks like Ortega jumps on. So might get a couple extra yards out of that one. And it'll be FDNY with a 2nd and 3.
I like to call this the Vinny Sheeta dink and dunk drive. A little dink. Screen pass just past midfield. And Flowers with the dunk. And if the offense could keep chipping away like this, Mike, maybe it's more points here. This time under center from Calabrese.
All right, we got Calabrese there in shotgun with Trey Wilson next to him. You do get the handoff to Wilson. He's dropped right at the line of scrimmage. Big tackle there. That's number 96 on Tri-State, and that is Kamal El Sayed. He's from Dumont Police Department, 6'2", 250. He drops Trey for the loss.
Yeah, not a lot of real estate for Trey to work with on that carry, but it'll bring up 3rd and 2.
All right, big 3rd down here for FDNY. I mean, they'll be going on 4th down based on what they've been doing so far. I don't think there's a punting situation, even if they don't get it. But he's
trips to the left, Mike.
He is throwing. He rolls out to his left. He escapes a tackle and is going to get dropped for a loss. Loss of 3. Pushes it back to the 46-yard line. And this now will be a punting situation. That's a huge play there. Calabrese probably needed to get rid of that one, John.
Yeah, and credit number 35 for Tri-State in on the tackle.
And number 26, Chris Maldonado, also in on the tackle. And we are going to head to a break right here to hear a word from our sponsors.
So how many saw Forrest Gump? Well, I'm Gary Sinise, and I play Lieutenant Dan.
Hello, I'm Gary Sinise, and while you may recognize me from movies or television, my life's mission has been to honor and support our nation's veterans, servicemen and women, first responders, our most severely wounded heroes, the families of our fallen, and those suffering from the invisible wounds of war.
I appreciate everything that you do for our troops.
Thank you for what you do for these veterans.
What you do for the soldiers, God bless you.
I lost my dad.
I know. And we want to show you that we don't forget your dad.
It's meaningful.
Yeah.
Because I didn't expect any of this, I was just happy to be alive. So when everyone showed their love and support, it's overwhelming.
Please join me to help us help our defenders who keep us safe and our communities strong. Donate today at GarySiniseFoundation.org.
We're talking about the people who have put their lives on the line for this great country, the people who have lost and paid the greatest price for our freedom, for guys like me to be able to go sing songs about whatever I want to sing about every single night. And we're talking about an organization that helps support families and support the people that are running into the danger that the rest of us are running away from. And that's the kind of people I want to be beside. Those are the real heroes, man. I'm just a big fat guy with a guitar. Hey, y'all, this is Jelly Roll, and I am asking you to give $11 $11 a month to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation is committed to honoring the dignity of the American service member and is committed to helping end homelessness amongst the veteran community and ensure no veteran is left behind. Providing a safe and dignified home is an imperative part of helping veterans who are homeless reclaim their lives. Donate $11 a month by calling 1-844-BRAVEST or visit t2t.org.
All right, we are back. Be fourth down here. Francis Cole lined up to punt. And on the Tri-State side, it's going to be Ramel Joseph back to receive the kick, standing with his heels on his own 8-yard line. He might want to back up even a little bit more or be looking for a fair catch or let this thing bound into the end zone. Cole can get it there, and he booms a strategic kick. He goes for corner coffin.
Just another beautiful punt, Mike.
So there you go. Rolls out of bounds at the 10-yard line, John.
Gorgeous job by Cole. I mean, you can't really do it any better than that. Yeah. He's got Tri-State pinned now, just inside the 15.
Yeah, we got plenty of time left in the first half. We are scoreless, 11 minutes left in the second quarter. On Your Six Bourbon Whiskey, inspired by everyday heroes like nurses, police officers, teachers, and firefighters. Okay. Inspired by everyday heroes like nurses, police officers, teachers, and firefighters who make this country so loved and respected, we keep the military tradition of grabbing a drink to celebrate someone who's got your six. Visit onyoursix.com today to purchase your first bottle. And Tri-State breaks into their offensive set. You've got Ugarte in the backfield along with Mike Sherman. What do you think they're looking to do here, John?
They got to establish something, and they're going to go to the air on first down. A completion to Ramel Joseph, and that's another guy, Mike, that's got to get going. Ramel Joseph, he is such a talented guy, 5'10", 196.
Yeah, returns kicks, plays a little defense when they need it. And the Tri-State Shields, I will say just generally, FDNY a larger roster than Tri-State Shields. They have a little bit more depth, so you see more guys from Tri-State playing both ways. There's Ugarte trying to roll out and slam to the ground. Wow, big play there by number 55, Justin Hassan.
Oh, my gosh. Justin Hassan has come to play today.
5 guys chasing here, John.
Ugarte being pursued by big number 55. Ugarte tries to go over top of big Hassan. Hassan stands up and shoots him about another 4 feet into the air.
So Ugarte really under serious pressure there. 4 or 5 guys in pursuit, and Hassan getting credit for the tackle. He's slammed to the ground. It'll be second down. That's a
Cam
huge
Peake
loss there.
Was telling me about this 55, Justin Hassan, the head coach in his 5th year for the fire department.
All right, Ugarte in shotgun, 4 wide. He back to pass, and he's under pressure and dropped for a loss again. It's number 45 on the play. That's Godfrey Taylor, John.
Godfrey Taylor now getting a piece of the pie. The defensive lineman out of ladder 151. The penetration. And boom. Nearly coughing up the football was Ugarte. And number 45
and very long
like he
here.
Wanted to go for a little bit of a strip sack there, Mike.
Yeah, it'll be 3rd and 30 here, John. I think this is going to be very conservative. Just try to get out of the shadow of your own end zone. But we'll see how aggressive he is here throwing the football. They bring Cribbs in motion here with Sherman in the backfield standing next to Ugarte. He's back to pass, and he does throw over the middle, incomplete. Not on the same page there were Ramel Joseph and Ugarte, and it'll be 4th down, and they'll be punting with his toes or his heels on the back line of the end zone. Dangerous territory here for Tri-State.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Stevie Orr, the special teams coach of the fire department, I don't know. You put on the pressure here on Ugarte? Send them all, I say.
Yeah. Last time they were in a similar position back deep in their own territory, did not get off a good kick.
He's got very little room.
Let's see if Ortega can make something happen here as he's lined up. Oh, blocked and recovered. Touchdown, FDNY Bravest.
Did I call it?
Nice job. That's what you're here for. All right, big block. That's a touchdown for the Bravest. Number 7 celebrating. It's Khalifa Forbes. We'll see who got the block and the recovery, but Forbes appears to have gotten the recovery for sure.
Yeah, I mean, a no-brainer there as Stevie Orr does just that. Here they come. Ugart, nowhere to hide. Wasn't even close.
43, Alan Prockett on the block, and Forbes picks it up for the easy touchdown.
So the combination of number 43, Alan Prockett, he does the dirty work. And the glory goes to number 2, who got the
number
TD.
7, Khalifa
Ortega?
Forbes. Khalifa Forbes, number 7.
It was Khalifa Forbes. So we got our first points to the ball game, Mike. And they come on special teams. So you know Steve Orr is going to be very happy on that
What
side.
is the confusion here on the extra point? They didn't have the right lineup in there. But Francis Cole out to kick. Easy money for him on the extra point. Missed his field goal attempt earlier from 50. Doesn't even get back on the right track here. Kick is up and easy, right down the middle. So 7-0, FDNY Bravest.
You know,
we'll
Mike,
head to a break right now and get your thoughts on the touchdown right after this message.
Ever wonder who helps our everyday heroes when they need support? Enter fundthefirst.com, a unique crowdfunding platform dedicated to first responders, their families, and their friends. Unlike typical sites, we don't take a cut. Every dollar goes directly to those in need. Whether it's for emergency medical bills, family emergencies, or equipment, fundthefirst.com is there. It's our chance to give back to those who risk it all for us. From police officers to firefighters, these heroes deserve our support. Want to make a real impact? Check out fundthefirst.com and show our heroes that we've got their backs. It's time to support those who always support us.
All right, we'll have our second opportunity at the dynamic kickoff here. Francis Cole standing on his own 35. He'll be kicking deep to the duo of Ramel Joseph and Miguel Masonette on the Tri-State Shield side. Obviously a rough situation there with the block kick for the touchdown, and they're going to have to try to do a little bit better protecting Ugart if they're going to create any more room for him on offense.
Well, it's been the fire department who has just had better and better field position to work with on every series, and that time it finally caught up to Tri-State.
Masonette bobbles the kick but picks it up and gets across the 20-yard line, so they'll have okay field position, certainly a lot better than it was at the end of that last drive. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 21-yard line for the Tri-State Shields offense. You know, since 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has been helping America's heroes by providing mortgage-free homes to Gold Star and fallen first responder families. We are also committed to eradicating veteran homelessness and helping America to never forget September 11th, 2001. Visit t2t.org for more information or to make your donation today. All right, here it is. Tri-State, Ugart in the backfield, Miguel Masonette there with him. I think they might try a little bit of running here, John. The pass protection is not holding up for them. They have to create some sustainability on this drive.
We'll see. In that last drive, it was a pass on first down. They go to the run here.
Well, they tried.
Wow.
They tried.
This has been interesting.
Here we go on the replay. Penetration there by the defensive line. 94 for FDNY. That is Jonathan Morrell. Stands at 6 foot, 300 pounds. A lot of size on the defensive line.
It's a very strong individual.
Hassan bringing pressure here as Ugart throws, but complete to Ramel Joseph. Complete. And he drops the ball at the end of the play. I would say he's down, but that is live. No. Okay. They call him down. Ramel Joseph picks up a big play there, John. So here we go. Complete for a first down. In on the tackle. Looks like Moody was in on that tackle. They ripped the ball out at the end of the play, but he had already been marked down.
And Moody was shaken up on that play as well, as he's slow to get off.
So they'll bring somebody else in for him. Timothy Dollison comes on the field to replace Moody. Got Anthony Phipps out there in the backfield as well.
So they're saying that the ground caused the fumble, so it's not a fumble.
We'll take another look at that when we get a chance. That was close. I thought he was down live, but we'll take another look at it when we get a chance after this play. All right, Ugart in the backfield. Sherman standing next to him. He's got 4 wide. He's looking to throw. The left-hander gets it out to Masonette. Too high, incomplete pass. Can we take another look at that play, guys, on that fumble? We'll take another look for you. Here it is. You see Joseph grabs the ball. He reels it in, and he's got a few guys down. Wow, that's really close.
That is close. And of course,
I think if we had a super slow-mo, we might be looking to overturn that one. But as is the nature of this game, we keep it moving, and it was a first down for Tri-State. Again, 4 wide. They're looking to throw. They're not trying to establish the run here at all. That snap skipped back to him, puts him in a tough spot. Now Ugart, little broken play. Oh, man, he had somebody wide open. He had Cribbs open, but very difficult play. He's scampering in and out of defensive linemen. He had to throw off balance.
So this is what Ugart can do. He can create something from nothing. He buys himself some time, and it's a perfectly thrown ball, a little low, but that's got to be a catch.
So that ball's 45 yards in the air, and he's doing it on the run. So just incomplete.
And Joseph's got good hands for the most part. If you can get a hand on it.
There you go. Oh. You got Ramel Joseph has one right on the 50-yard line, but it drops to the ground. So tough one there for Tri-State. That would have been a first down, which they could have used here. 6.5 minutes left in the first quarter, and it's going to be 4th down here, 4th and 10, punting situation. But FDNY has nobody back. Yeah, here he goes.
Finally.
Ortega runs on the field. Okay.
You know, Mike, this Tri-State team's been very snake bit. I mean, they had the ball at the goal line, turned it over.
Yep.
2 drop passes in a row here from Ugart.
He gets off a kick here, gets a good bounce, and it'll roll out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Okay. So they protected their field possession here. FDNY Bravest will take over at the 25-yard line. We'll get a word from our sponsors and see what Peter Calabrese can do under center.
New York Firefighters Heart and Lung Institute is a medical center for firefighters, designed by firefighters. As a leading provider of advanced medical screenings, we take pride in offering the best healthcare experience for firefighters and first responders. Since 2002, the New York Firefighters Heart and Lung Institute has been dedicated to screening, diagnosing, and treating first responders and their families each and every day. We provide a broad range of testing and medical care, including cardiac and pulmonary testing, as well as educational seminars focused on firefighter safety throughout the USA and Canada. We are proud to have recently entered into a partnership with the Uniformed Firefighters Association.
All right, here we go. We got Peter Calabrese under center. Play action pass. He rolls out to his right, and he keeps it. He's going to be good for 6 yards on the keeper. It'll be 2nd and 4 from the 31-yard line.
And, you know, Calabrese giving you a really good idea of his high school running back days on that carry.
Yeah, very quick, John. Obviously, you said he's a rookie, but he's got experience playing.
Yeah, played running back and quarterback at Tottenville, from what I'm told.
All right, so we're going to take a break in the action here to give you, before we head to a break, I'll tell you about the Gary Sinise Foundation. And at the Gary Sinise Foundation, we serve our nation by honoring our defenders, veterans, first responders, their families, and those in need. We do this by creating and supporting unique programs designed to entertain, educate, inspire, strengthen, and build communities. Visit GarySiniseFoundation.org to learn more and how you can contribute to our mission. All right, we're going to hit a break right now and come back with more action live from St. Peter's High School.
If you've been injured on the job, first notify your employer, seek immediate medical attention, and then call me at 516-280-4033. We act aggressively to litigate your matters to conclusion, and we keep you fully informed throughout the litigation process. I'm here to fight for you.
Frequently either stop looking for signs of hope and praying for a swift end to our agonizing pain. As one who has walked down this road, I can honestly say that nothing I have ever done has given me more hope, more relief, or renew my courage like my relationship to ECAN, especially the reception of my new best friend, Dozer.
We are back. It'll be second and 4 from the 31-yard line. Calabrese hands off to Trey Wilson. He cuts back, and he's dropped after a gain of 3. It'll be 3rd and 1 from the 34-yard line, John.
Trey Wilson lunging backwards, trying to get that extra yard. Not enough. But we have not seen 1 4th down, Mike, except for how many punts from Cole today?
Yeah, we got a couple from each team, I believe. But the only 4th down attempts were really for Tri-State Shields when they turned it over. And FDNY got aggressive early in that first quarter on that first drive. But here we go. Calabrese with Trey Wilson behind him. 4 out wide. And they're going to hand off to Trey Wilson off the right tackle. That's good for 5 yards and a first down. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line, John.
And Wilson flying down the right side picks up the first down. We'll take a look at it one more time. And an excellent block to spring Wilson for a few more.
All right, inside of 5 minutes left in the first half. I think FDNY is going to take their time with this drive, see if they can grind clock and get it into the end zone before halftime. Calabrese, and there is a false start, looks like to me, on FDNY. Yeah.
You know, Mike, the FDNY looked to have cleaned up the penalties a little bit after that first quarter.
Yeah.
But they get flagged here once again.
Yeah. Defense picked up a couple of penalties, being a little anxious, jumping across the line of scrimmage. Now we have a situation, just a procedural penalty here for FDNY Bravest as they try to get something done here before halftime. They've obviously shown their ability defensively to contain Tri-State. Ugart has the ability to be explosive and make some plays, but consistently their offensive line is having a rough day. FDNY's just got to try to establish some drives here, and I think they can remain on top. We'll see what happens here. Calabrese, a quick hitter here. That's out to Heedles, and that is good for a few yards. Trying to get back to the original line of scrimmage.
Heedles involved again at the receiver position. You know, Last year's starting quarterback, contributing now offensively in a different way, but equally as effective.
All right, we got Elam in the backfield here with Calabrese. A bunch formation to the left here with Ortega and Heedles leading the way. And a play action, Calabrese rolls out. We've got a penalty here as Ortega gets slammed to the ground. Hard hit there by number 31, Raheem Bradshaw, MTA Police Department. He lowers the boom on Ortega, but we have a penalty here. It looks like a hold on FDNY Bravest. I think it's going to go against
Kasim Thomas if we watch this again. Thomas might have gotten caught up with the hold right there.
Yeah. Good call, John.
He
right in front of the official.
Down number 44.
So they declined that penalty. So they want to go with the down. They take the down away. An effort to try to get the ball back, obviously. It'll be 3rd and 11 as Ortega was really dropped at the line of scrimmage. All right, so who do we have in the backfield here with Calabrese? That's number 26, Sawan Hines. Oh, sorry, that's 36, Nick Sumter.
Calabrese on the run, intended for Flowers, incomplete.
All right, so that works out for Tri-State. They decline the penalty. FDNY does nothing with that 3rd down play, and Francis Cole out to punt. If Tri-State's able to punch something in here, I feel like they stole something at the end of the first half here. 3.5, just over 3 minutes to go. 7-0 FDNY Bravest. Neither offense able to score, just a special teams touchdown so far today. We'll see if James Ingram can make something happen as Cole does not get off his best kick, but he gets a good roll, and it's going to roll right out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
You notice how Cole does that little shift to the right?
Yeah.
It's sort of
like a
rugby fit from the rugby past. I always like watching that.
Okay, we'll take a quick break here, get a word from our sponsors, and come back and see if Tri-State can score before halftime.
I'm actor Eric Winter. Now, playing a cop on TV and tracking bad guys is fun in games, but now I understand the challenges facing real first responders. That's why I'm asking you to support the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. For more than 2 decades, Tunnel to Towers has been supporting America's greatest heroes. The foundation is continuing to pay off mortgages for fallen first responders and Gold Star families with young children. They're also building mortgage-free smart homes.
And we are back live action. A handoff on 1st down to Masonette, and he drives towards the line of scrimmage. Might have picked up 2 on the play, and they're going to take a timeout. Bravest takes a timeout.
In on the tackle, number 53, 6 foot 225, out of Engine 225.
Shared a couple players in our history. Start out, a couple retired players from Bravest football.
You know, John, if you're serious about winning some money, stop what you're doing and head to takingvegas.com. Their free play record this year is 22-12, and right now they're offering 7 free days of their top play service for our NPSFL network audience. Winning is great, but Taking Vegas is legendary. Visit takingvegas.com to start winning today. All right, so let's set the tone here for you. 2 minutes, 44 seconds left in the first half, John. You got 2nd and 11 for Tri-State Shields. We're going to have the 2-minute warning upcoming. The FDNY Bravest managing some timeouts, trying to get the ball back here. What does Tri-State Shields need to do to try to get the ball downfield?
Well, after that lengthy timeout, we'll see what the head coach can dig up here. I don't know what to tell you, Mike. Thinking of pass play.
Ugart back to pass. He's under pressure yet again. He rolls out to his left, and we got that's a penalty. I don't know how that's not a penalty there.
Pass out to the left side, Moody.
You know, Moody took out Mike Sherman before the pass was thrown. Watch this here on the replay. Watch Moody come and level Mike Sherman to the ground. That's a pass play. That's a blatant interference that they missed.
Yeah, the other person that got leveled to the ground was Ugart by Taylor Godfrey. So FDNY bullying their way to the end of this second quarter.
All right,
but I'd rather be aggressive with aggressive mistakes than the other way around. I got to tell you, I'm impressed. I am very impressed with the fire department's first half here. Despite only putting 7 on the board, it could be more. And they're only getting stronger as this game continues.
Ugart running. He keeps it. He's going to pick up a few. He breaks a couple tackles, but he's dropped really right at the line of scrimmage there.
You know, after watching the film last night of the Tri-State Roanoke game, I was thinking, geez, this guy Ugart was reminding me of Lamar Jackson and Mike Vick. And looking a little bit less heroic here in the first half.
I mean, he stands at 6'1", 225. He's got good size, obviously athletic. They trust him to do the kicking duties as well. So he is very much a triple threat, but has not had a lot of time to move. All right, we're going to head to a quick break here, and it'll be Tri-State punting to FDNY when we come back.
I play Lieutenant Dan.
Hello, I'm Gary Sinise, and while you may recognize me from movies or television, my life's mission has been to honor and support our nation's veterans, servicemen and women, first responders, our most severely wounded heroes, the families of our fallen, and those suffering from the invisible wounds of war.
I appreciate everything that you do for our troops.
Thank you for what you do for these veterans.
What you do for the soldiers, God bless you.
I lost my dad.
I know. And we want to show you that we don't forget your dad.
It's meaningful.
Yeah.
Because I didn't expect any of this, you know. I was just happy to be alive. So when everyone showed their love and support, it's overwhelming.
Please join me to help us help our defenders who keep us safe and our communities strong. Donate today at GarySineseFoundation.org.
Okay, we're back here. It's going to be Ugart punting. Is that Ortega lined up deep? Yes, as he handles most of the return duties for the Bravest. And Ugart on the fake. He's going to run. And we got a flag down. Ugart definitely picks up the first down and more. He's across to 50 to the 45. And I think this thing's coming all the way back. I think we might have a hold. Or an illegal block.
Razzle-dazzle by this Tri-State special teams, but all for naught. If you look at the hold right there.
That might have been a trip. That might have been a trip.
And I don't know what it's going to be, as they haven't announced it yet.
That was number 43 for the Bravest. Alan Prockett went down on the play, and I think that was a result of what penalty occurred. All right, we'll head to a quick break here and come back after this.
Our mission is providing that support, advocacy, and awareness for organ donation. Be a forever hero, donate life is the message we want to get out there.
As an FDNY firefighter, he was a hero in life. As an organ donor, Billy Moon, also a hero in death.
FDNY firefighter Billy Moon's heart was successfully transplanted into 63-year-old Richard Grell last December.
And as his widow, Christina, processed her heartbreak and her grief, she fulfilled a promise.
All right, we are in punting position again. Ugart drops the snap. Now he's got to try to run with it, and he is dropped for a loss. Big play for the Bravest there. They're going to take over at the 10-yard line. I don't know if Ugart couldn't really do much with that snap. He skipped it to him, and I didn't think he had enough time to try to kick it.
Well, once Tri-State thought they had a huge breath of life, they're right back to where they started. And also a shout-out to Godfrey Taylor, who was injured right before Prockett. So that's two key guys that have been carted off for the fire department of New York.
Jason Carterton creating some of the pressure here. He's a St. Peter's alum. So big play here on his home. He's got experience playing on this very field. All right, first down. Wheeler back in at QB, John.
Wheeler back in, 1:45 to go. Plenty of time to make something happen here.
You got Elam in the backfield with him, play action. Wheeler's going to under pressure and drop for a loss. You got to get rid of that one. And he's going to get dropped all the way back at the 18-yard line. Loss of about 8 on the play. It was first and goal from the 9, and it'll push him all the way back to the 18-yard line. So clock is ticking. They're going to have 2 more cracks at the end zone here before a kicking opportunity, but they need to show a little bit of urgency here.
Rob Rivera with good pressure on that last play. You see him lined up in front of big number 75.
All right, Ortega in motion.
Nacarado.
Wheeler looking to throw. He gets it out to Ortega. Quick hitter on the screen. Ortega makes a move, but nowhere to go. And it'll be third down and goal from the 18-yard line. 17-yard line, so he picks up a yard on the play.
Interesting that we see Wheeler take over with such good field position. I wonder what the thinking there is for Cam Peake and Vinny Sheeta.
He's going to be really conservative here. Going to try and pick up some yards and then call a timeout for Cole to come out here. But this one's got to be in the end zone. Less than 20 seconds to go. We'll see what he can make happen here.
Twins to the left. That's where I think
Wheeler is going to tuck and run, and he gets across the 15-yard line. Line dropped at the 12. They're going to call that timeout with 9 seconds left. Probably should have let a few more seconds go.
I don't know if that was just Wheeler trying to salvage that play, but he didn't really give his receivers enough time to run their routes on that play. I don't think. He just kind of took off. If you look to the Twins to the left here, they're just getting going, and then Wheeler runs, but there wasn't a whole lot happening to his left anyway.
Yeah, he didn't like the look there from the defense, so he stays conservative. They called the timeout very quickly, John. There's 9 seconds left. In the last play of the first half could have been fourth down. Francis Cole obviously into kick here. It's the 18-yard line. It'll be a 35-yard attempt. But I'm a little surprised that they called the timeout so quickly because this play will only take a few seconds off the clock, and then we'll have to go to a kickoff after that.
And Stevie Orr out there along with Cam Peake, the head coach and special team coach, respectively. The odd couple, but a match made in heaven.
I misspoke earlier. This will be a 30-yard field goal attempt, not 35-yarder.
And Cole's last attempt was 50. Kind of a line drive. It was close, though. Just a few feet wide left.
Yeah, had the distance.
And to think about him lining up for a 50-yarder in this league, it really never ceases to amaze me. This is a chip shot for number 15.
All right, here you go, 30-yarder, 9 seconds left in the half. Here's the snap, the kick is up, and it's right down the middle. He hit it onto the roof of the administrative building.
Gorgeous
That would have been
kick
good from 50.
by Cole, and it's 10-0.
All right, 10-0 FDNY Bravest. 3 seconds left in the half. We'll hit a break and come back after this.
Our mission is providing that support, advocacy, and awareness for organ donation. Be a forever hero, donate life is the message we want to get out there.
As an FDNY firefighter, he was a hero in life. As an organ donor, Billy Moon, also a hero in death.
FDNY firefighter Billy Moon's heart was successfully transplanted into 63-year-old Richard Grell last December.
And as his widow, Christina, processed her heartbreak and her grief, she fulfilled a promise that was made to her husband and donated his organs so others could live. 5 lives were saved in the process.
There are around 103,000 people waiting for a transplant across the country. One person can save 8 lives and improve up to 75 more.
About that.
All right, we are back. St. Peter's High School. Last play of the half, if we get any kind of play in bounds. Cole kicking off with a 10-0 lead, and he booms it. Ramel Joseph is going to return it, so let's see what he can make happen here. He's being pursued, and they push him out of bounds. That'll be halftime, 10-0 FDNY Bravest. We'll grab the lead. Another good kick from Cole. Like you said, he missed the 50-yard attempt, but he's bounced back. Extra point, field goal. He's been great punting and kicking the ball the whole way. The 50-yard attempt was an aggressive attempt, and it just went wide. But
it had the legs, didn't have the eyes, as they say.
You know, special teams has been a big part of this first half too, John, where FDNY has been able to pin Tri-State Shields in deep in a couple of instances. It led to a touchdown on the block punt for Bravest and puts them in a position where they took that 7-0 lead. We'll get to a break right now. We'll come back for some halftime festivities.
Ever wonder who helps our everyday heroes when they need support? Enter fundthefirst.com, a unique crowdfunding platform dedicated to first responders, their families, and their friends. Unlike typical sites, we don't take a cut. Every dollar goes directly to those in need. Whether it's for emergency medical bills, family emergencies, or equipment, fundthefirst.com is there. It's our chance to give back to those who risk it all for us. From police officers to firefighters, these heroes deserve our support. Want to make a real impact? Check out fundthefirst.com and show our heroes that we've got their backs. It's time to support those who always support us.
Our mission is providing that support, advocacy, and awareness for organ donation. Be a forever hero, donate life is the message we want to get out there.
As an FDNY firefighter, he was a hero in life. As an organ donor, Billy Moon, also a hero in death.
FDNY firefighter Billy Moon's heart was successfully transplanted into 63-year-old Richard Grell last December.
And as his widow, Christina, processed her heartbreak and her grief, she fulfilled a promise that was made to her husband and donated his organs so others could live. 5 lives were saved in the process.
There are around 103,000 people waiting for a transplant across the country. One person can save 8 lives and improve up to 75 more.
All right, John, we're back. We're having some honorees into the National Public Safety Football Hall of Fame. I know you have a little bit of information on those FDNY Bravest.
Yeah, you know, first of all, I think it's such a great concept that the National Public Safety Football League has put this together, long overdue. 30 different inductees into the 2025 class, the first inductees in the history of the NPSFL, and representing the Fire Department of New York, Pudgy Walsh, the first head coach and the founder of this football team from the Fire Department, and also Troy Roberts, a longtime board member who has done so much for not only the Fire Department of New York, but the league as a whole, and it's very well deserved. Troy Roberts and the team president, Troy Roberts, I should add, and the first head coach, Pudgy Walsh, who was such a character. And the story goes back in the Mariners Inn, it was Joe Loughran and Pudgy Walsh. Joe, the first head coach of the NYPD, and Pudgy, over a couple of drinks, decided to get this game going, which has turned into the Fun City Bowl. I also, if we have time, I'll talk to our producer. Tom, do we have time to talk a little bit more about our halftime NPSFL celebrants? I don't want to bore everybody, but I don't think when it comes to the Hall of Fame, there can enough can be said about these recipients. So we'll start with Chicago Enforcers, Jim Ade, the head coach, Alfonso Ash, Rick Bradley, Kevin Brown from the Orlando Guardians, team president Baby Ruth Bullock from the Central Texas Wolfpack, Jason Burke from the San Diego Enforcers, Chris Chamberlain, NYCD Corrections Department boldest. Look at that, Chris Chamberlain. John Curry from Chicago PD, Dan Fry, Columbus, Ed Gardner, NYPD wide receiver, Kenny Hooks, DC Generals, Tim Kaczynski, Chicago, Ed Lindley, LAPD, Stephen McAllister from the NYPD, Gary McCarthy, NYPD, Ronnie McCoy, quarterback, Dallas, David Mordarski from Cleveland, Donald Payne from the LAPD Centurions, Ron Phillips, Central Texas, Jeff Price, the president of the National Public Safety Football League, and now the quarterback, coach of the Dallas Defenders, Jeff Price, Troy Roberts, Mike Salber, Brian Salmon, Bob Schlechter, Greg St. Clair, Bill Sullivan, Tony Tabor, Joel Tart, Robert Pudgy Walsh, there he is, Jahir Waterman, Greg Zaragoza. So that's going to do it, everybody. The 2025 inductees to the NPSFL Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
Okay, we're going to head to a break right now. Join you after halftime with some more second half action from the NPSFL.
For over 2 decades, Rigging NYC Contractors, Inc. has been
We're talking about the people who have put their lives on the line for this great country, the people who have lost and paid the greatest price for our freedom, for guys like me to be able to go sing songs about whatever I want to sing about every single night. And we're talking about an organization that helps support families and support the people that are running into the danger that the rest of us are running away from. And that's the kind of people I want to be beside. Those are the real heroes, man. I'm just a big fat guy with a guitar. Hey y'all, this is Jelly Roll, and I am asking you to give $11 a month to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation is committed to honoring the dignity of the American service member and is committed to helping end homelessness amongst the veteran community and ensure no veteran is left behind. Providing a safe and dignified home is an imperative part of helping veterans who are homeless reclaim their lives. Donate $11 a month by calling 1-844-BRAVEST or visit t2t.org.
Ground Zero is the burial place for my brother, yet I think that not everybody can go to New York and to Ground Zero and visit the memorial there, so we felt it was vitally important once again that we carry the message that we never forget. And one way that you never forget is that if you learn what happened that day. And a lot of young kids don't even know. I hear about September 11th. A lot of them were maybe 10 years old. Now they're 22 years old. A lot of them weren't even born. And I think that one of the most important things as parents, if parents are listening, and the children, is that that you bring them here and you tell them the story. Tell them where you were on September 11th, 2001, and what an impact it had in your life. It changed the world. That day has changed the world. It's not the same world it was on September 10, 2001, and I think that you have to tell why and what happened that day. Not just because Stephen died, because so many have died that day. And that, and so much of our military has sacrificed so much for us before that, but most certainly ever since. I think this statement really sums up our military and our great first responders. For those I love, I will sacrifice. And this is Kyle Hockenberry, and Kyle his house is under construction right now. And this program here, which is Building for America's Bravest, which is what we spend most of our energy on right now, that and our Never Forget Mobile exhibit here, is that, we have to raise a lot of money because our men and women have paid a big price for, protecting us here, back here in the States. And so many of them coming back, triple, quadruple amputees. So many of are paralyzed, and we're proud to say that we are committed to making sure that every one of them get a house. And it's been a journey the last 12 years. We've met some of the best Americans around the country, most certainly, once again, our men and women who serve, but besides that, just everyday Americans who have come together to help our cause, to make sure we never forget and we honor the sacrifice.
This is a very interesting piece, and to me it's the most poignant piece in the exhibit. Welded in New York for the 10th anniversary, was presented to 3 Truck, and 3 Truck their leader that day was Captain Patrick Brown, who in his 24 years of service in the FDNY had received 21 medals for heroism. They had gotten above the 40th floor at that point, he and his men, and they heard and saw what was going on, and they were describing over the radio the injuries that were coming down so that the command post and lobby be ready for it. And the very last transmission that they were able to put out was, "This is 3 Truck, and we're still heading up." And then the building fell on them. So that was their last transmission. That's what I love. They cut out crucifixes, 1 for each family, 1 for each fire department member who died that day, to give to their family members on the 10th anniversary. So each family member of a fireman from 3 Truck has this piece of steel as a memento.
I think it's pretty amazing, especially for young kids that weren't there, to see the way our country was able to rally together in a situation like this. It's pretty incredible to bring it home.
It puts shivers up my back, and it's a great remembrance of what we should never let happen again to our great country.
I would encourage anybody who has an opportunity to come down and visit this. It's really something that will bring back a lot of memories if you were involved on that day. And it's good for Americans to see all the things that we've gone through, and we're still here today.
Oh, I think I would encourage people to, tour the museum. It's not a long walk through, but it brings back the memories, and it makes you feel like you're an American. And I think people should just go to reflect, and again, how lucky we are to live in this country.
Well, I think just taking 15, 20 minutes before the start of the game right here, where you got 70, 80,000 fans, means a lot. I think it puts the whole day in a proper perspective by kind of going through this first and understanding that the freedoms we have to watch football games are largely built on the shoulders of the gentlemen and soldiers that have paid the sacrifice in combat and in New York City.
At the time, he was only 2 when it happened, so he has no idea about what has happened. And it just brings a lot of memories back. That day is where you were at when it happened. This is a good thing.
I'm glad to see this exhibit. There can't be enough of this. We need to see more of it and remind people what happened and why we are a nation of free people.
For over 2 decades, Rigging NYC Contractors, Inc. has been the go-to provider of rigging services in New York City. Specializing in construction and industrial rigging, as well as machinery moving, we are dedicated to delivering safe and timely solutions. Our team consists of licensed master riggers, operating engineers, teamster drivers, steam fitters, and iron workers. No matter the industrial or construction application, we have the lifting solution for you. In addition to rigging services, we offer specialized trucking services to handle equipment and materials. Our fleet of tractor trailers and experienced drivers make us the premier choice for New York trucking, including oversized freight and heavy loads. When it comes to rigging, trust the experts. the licensed master riggers at Rigging NYC Contractors. Contact us today for more information and let us make your next project a resounding success.
All right, we're back coming in at halftime. Mike Blewett, John Heffernan here with you for all the live action today for the National Public Safety Football League. St. Peter's High School here in Staten Island. It's been a good first half. I think teams are knocking off a little bit of rust. I thought Tri-State Shields really having that easy contest against Roanoke, 42-14. We probably expected a little bit more out of the offense. They have yet to get on the board, but a big play was that they failed down at the goal line when they had a 4th and goal from the 1, and then on the kick, on the punt out of their own end zone, blocked by Prockett, recovered by Forbes, touchdown FDNY.
Yeah, let's take a look at it right now, Mike. Ugart with absolutely nowhere to go, all the way in the back of the end zone, tries to get a quick one off, and he is hammered as Stevie Orr, the special teams coach for the FDNY, I mean, he sends all his guys. They put on the pressure, and it turns into 6 points for the FDNY. And the FDNY kept pushing them back further and further as that first half went on, and it finally paid dividends. And then, of course, Cole with the field goal to make it 10-0. He missed one earlier in the game, but it's been a snake-bit Tri-State team that can't seem to do anything right. Every time they seem to get some momentum, FDNY slams on the brakes.
You know, interestingly, they probably had the more explosive plays on offense, but not as consistent. And what we saw, the biggest real factor in this first half was the fact that the FDNY Bravest defensive line dominated the Tri-State Shields offensive line. Ugart has some explosive plays, but very consistently he's getting flushed out of the pocket, dropped for a loss. The fact that they didn't convert on that first and goal from the 1 was a huge factor in why this game is 10-0. I'd like to see a little bit more out of the FDNY Bravest offense consistently.
Yeah.
They've had a few first downs. They've gotten into opposing territory, but it's been field goals and have not really been able to get inside the red zone.
Yeah, well, just to answer a couple quick things you said about the FDNY defense, I mean, if there were any questions that needed to be answered, the FDNY defense especially came out with an emphatic exclamation point and a big check mark as far as all questions answered. Defense as strong as ever. Timmy Dollison, Frank Zerbo, Silazitsky, the list goes on. Denzel Wilson. These guys have been the core of this defense for the fire department. Year after year after year, they're back again. This is a very well-coached team. Probably the best in the National Public Safety Football League, the FDNY Bravest. And
Justin Hassan probably made the most plays.
Oh, and
Hassan,
a newcomer this year as far as the amount of times we've called his name.
Yeah.
He's been an animal. He's all over the field. On the other side for Tri-State, Brian Malone, a linebacker in the Hassan mold, has been kind of quiet. He was dominant in that win against Roanoke. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of adjustments Jay Myers, the second-year head coach for Tri-State, makes at the half. They got to do something, though. Despite it only being 10 points, I feel like these teams were miles apart in the first half.
Yeah, agreed. And I would say one thing they're going to have to manage, too, is the heat. It's actually unseasonably warm today.
It's hot.
I mean, it's hot
really,
down on
it's
the field.
humid.
We've seen
the
a couple of
humidity
guys.
is brutal as well.
Yeah.
It's an overcast day, so the humidity. I'm going to put on my Sam Champion hat on right now. Local. Is he local or national?
Yeah.
National guy, weather guy. That keeps kind of all the moisture locked in here. So a lot of fluids are going to need to be consumed here in the second half and keep these guys hydrated.
Color commentator and a burgeoning meteorologist, John Heffernan.
That's right.
On the call with me here
I do
today.
it all, like Eric Flowers.
So we'll take a look at the action as we get into the second half. Teams warming up right now. Like we said, it's pretty warm out. I think that favors FDNY Bravest because they have a little bit more depth on this roster, and I think they'll be in a situation where they'll be hanging on to this 10-point lead. But it just takes one play to get them to get Tri-State back in this.
What did you think of the rookie QB for the fire department? He
Calabrese
showed signs of life.
Yeah.
Injected some immediate energy into the team, and I was wondering why they went back to Wheeler. I love Wheeler. I don't want you to be upset with me, Robbie, but just when Calabrese started getting some momentum, I felt like they kind of interrupted that.
No, I think when you have a couple of good options and it's your first game, you want to get a look at how they both are running the offense. I think you're seeing a similar style from them. Calabrese may be a little bit quicker, but you're seeing a lot of quick sprint outs by the QB. Let's get it out on a quick screen pass and let Ortega or Flowers or somebody make a play. So not a lot of downfield passing, not much over the middle. Neither of those quarterbacks is particularly tall, both under 6 feet. So perhaps that's a reason for it, trying to utilize some speed, quick hitting plays, as opposed to going deep or trying to get it into the middle of the field. Now, the Tri-State Shields do have James Ingram patrolling the middle of the field, a very good safety that we've watched in previous games. So perhaps that's a reason for them avoiding that part of the field. I'd like to see a little bit more of that. What about Adam Jensen, a huge target? Can we get him over the middle? That's what I'd like to see from FDNY.
Yeah, and, Quincy Banks, the offensive coordinator for Tri-State, is a hardworking guy, and I know for a fact that they're going to drum up some different looks. And I also want to give a shout-out to the defensive coordinator for Tri-State, George Kern, whose son plays on the Shields team, and want to say hello to the coaches and thank them for all their help. And we're going to go through the FD coaches at the start of the second half.
Great stuff. We're live from St. Peter's Boys High School in Staten Island, New York. We'll head to the sponsors right now. Come back with second half action.
Tom Olkers served others.
He was an incredible husband, father, NYPD officer, and FDNY firefighter.
At age 26, Tom worked at Ground Zero in the rescue and recovery efforts following the attacks of 9/11.
Throughout his courageous battle against World Trade Center cancer, Tom deeply appreciated the care provided for him and his family, including the FDNY's Family Assistance Unit.
One of the TO Foundation's first initiatives is to purchase a family assistance van to help ease the burden for other firefighters and their families when facing an illness.
Together, we will honor Tom by helping first responders and their families in their hour of need. Please visit tofamilyfoundation.org today.
If you've been injured on the job, first notify your employer, seek immediate medical attention, and then call me at 516-280-4033. We act aggressively to litigate your matters to conclusion, and we keep you fully informed throughout the litigation process. I'm here to fight for you.
All right, we're back. Dynamic kickoff in play. Francis Cole, best kicker in the league as far as we're concerned.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, can we give this guy enough praise? And he deserves every bit of it.
He's been really important today, pinning Tri-State back. We'll see what he does here as he kicks off second half action. He gets that over Ramel Joseph's head and into the end zone. It'll be a touchback. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line.
Doing his job to start the second half. And Tri-State's got a big hill to climb. Going to have to start chipping away early, as this FD defense has been lights out, pitching a shutout here through the first 2 quarters of play.
I said the 25. They'll start it at the 30 after that touchback. My mistake. All right, here it is. Let's see if Ugart can get some protection here to start the second half. 10-0 is the score. The block punt recovered by Khalifa Forbes for a touchdown, and a Francis Cole 30-yard field goal is the difference right now. Tri-State got the ball down to the 1-yard line. Were not able to convert. In fact, threw an interception on 4th down and ended up with no points. So here's Ugart. In the backfield, you've got Mike Sherman and Miguel Masonette to start. Let's see if they try to establish a run right here on 1st down. And he does. Gets it to Masonette, who goes off right tackle for about 5 or 6 yards. So good start.
A little
Trying to
north-south running
There
from
you go.
Masonette, the former New York Jet, Pittsburgh Steeler, among 7 or 8 teams that Masonette was a part of the practice squad, and his NFL experience showing up big time here today. And Masonette's got to keep it going in this second half.
And a
to
huge
give Tri-State
standout.
a shot.
Sorry, John. A huge standout at Stony Brook as well when Masonette was there, which launched him into the NFL experience that he ended up gaining. Just a fantastic runner in college. They handed off to Mike Sherman there on second down, slammed right at the line of scrimmage.
Speaking of NFL, how about that NFL draft coming up on Thursday, Mike? I know that's a big thing in your neck of the woods.
I'll be covering that for Sports Grid a little bit later in the week. Excited about it. It's in Green Bay. I don't get to go to Green Bay.
Lambeau Field.
How about a studio in New Jersey? That acceptable?
I'll take it.
All right, there you go. Big pass from Ugarte.
And Joe Sanchez looking good, cutting through the middle, fearless with that catch.
That's right, 6 foot 220, wide receiver. He's an NYPD member as well. So there we go. That's what I was talking about earlier. Explosive plays out of Tri-State. They're not able to be consistent in. Fumble. Poked out. Masonette gets the ball, and it's poked out and recovered by Bravest. But what is the issue here? Was that ball not in play?
We're going to take a look at it one more time. But Wilson got his big paw out there, Mike.
I don't know that the officials had called ready to play, but Tri-State snapped it. Oh, we have a flag down. What's this flag?
It's like it's in an area of holding.
What was that? Okay. It's rare that I'm stumped on an official signal.
Well,
but I
today
don't know
we've seen
what
a
that
little bit of
was.
everything.
Was that defensive holding?
Well, they're going to move it up.
Just 5 yards.
I was offsides.
Oh, okay.
So another break for Tri-State as they were looking at yet another turnover. And Ugart's going to get another crack at it, Mike.
All right, so Masonette gets a reprieve on that fumble. And then Ugart, a quick hitter there, out to number 22, Padalkovi, 5'8", 195, member of the SCPD.
And Anthony Phipps with a little pop. Number 0, 6 foot out of engine 53.
We're seeing tempo out of Tri-State, too, running right up to the line of scrimmage here. It'll be 2nd and 1, and Denzel Wilson way offsides there. And that'll be a first down for Tri-State. So they're in across the 40-yard line now of the FDNY Bravest. A couple of penalties really costing them early.
We talked about adjustments at halftime. And one of them that we've seen right out of the gate, there seems to be a little bit more of a sense of urgency getting up to that line of scrimmage.
Definitely.
A little rush offense.
All right, same setup in the backfield. Ugart, Sherman, Masonette. FDNY showing pressure, but Denzel Wilson wraps up Mike Sherman after a gain of 1. I'll tell you what, Wilson very consistently making plays in the middle of the field. Tough guy to deal with.
He's just an absolute load. Denzel Wilson, the longtime defensive line specialist, nose tackle responsibilities. We saw him setting up on the outside just a couple of plays ago. But Denzel Wilson, again, wreaking havoc. 6'4", 300-pounder, bench presses over 300 pounds, and so much work he puts into his technique as well. And the jump that he gets off the snap is always impressive. If you watch the matchup right here with this center for Tri-State, he just bulldozes them right over.
I was just about to say, John, David Diaz, their starting center, had to come out for a play, and on the ensuing play, they fumble the center QB exchange.
Yeah, and we got another player down, this time again, shaken up. It's Moody. Moody. Oh,
so
Moody
he makes
got
the play to
stiff-armed
push
in the
Ugart
face.
out of bounds. But we'll head to a break right now and come back with more NPSFL action.
Ever wonder who helps our everyday heroes when they need support? Enter fundthefirst.com, a unique crowdfunding platform dedicated to first responders, their families, and their friends. Unlike typical sites, we don't take a cut. Every dollar goes directly to those in need. Whether it's for emergency medical bills, family emergencies, or equipment, fundthefirst.com is there. It's our chance to give back to those who risk it all for us. From police officers to firefighters, these heroes deserve our support. Want to make a real impact? Check out fundthefirst.com and show our heroes that we've got their backs. It's time to support those who always support us.
We frequently either stop looking for signs of hope and praying for a swift end to our agonizing pain. As one who has walked down this road, I can honestly say that nothing I have ever done has given me more hope, more relief. I renew my courage like my relationship to ECAN, especially the reception of my new best friend, Dozer.
We are back live from St. Peter's Boys High School in Staten Island, New York. I'm your play-by-play guy, Mike Blewett, along with my color commentator, John Heffernan. It's going to be Tri-State here, John, with a 3rd and 10. Ugart at shotgun, Sherman lined up next to him. Little play action, and right over the middle, he's got a complete pass right at the first down marker. It will be a first down. That was Pat Okovi for the first down, 5'8", 195. Good catch there over the middle.
Yeah, and also a nice lick by Christian Malera, number 6 for the fire department. Absolutely drilled the Tri-State receiver right in the back.
Like you said, a sense of urgency out of Tri-State Shields here on the first down from the 30-yard line. They go right back to a handoff with Masonette, who's spinning out of control down the sidelines, inside the 10-yard line. A first down. It'll be first and goal from the 7. Yeah. The spin move, the B button on the Madden controller.
I got to tell you, that's the run of the game as far as I'm concerned from Miguel Masonette. Look at him from the start in the backfield. He's almost brought down.
Oh, FDNY Bravest has to call a timeout. Tri-State really trying to do the hurry up there. They caught him off guard, didn't have the right personnel, so they take a strategic timeout right there. But a great run from Masonette if we could see it again.
And here it is again. Masonette runs into trouble here. Boom, off of 1. Boom, 2. Like a spinorama ballerina. And then the stiff arm. And finally, Anthony Phipps gets him out of bounds right at the goal line. But man, oh man, Mike, Tri-State is knocking on the door. What a way to establish themselves here in the 3rd quarter.
All right, a quick timeout before we come back with the ensuing first down play for Tri-State.
For over 2 decades, Rigging NYC Contractors, Inc. has been the go-to provider of rigging services in New York City. Specializing in construction and industrial rigging, as well as machinery moving, we are dedicated to delivering safe and timely solutions. Our team consists of licensed master riggers operating.
Okay, here we go. First down from the 7-yard line. Ugart in shotgun. Masonette to his right. You've got Ramel Joseph out to the right. And Jamar Sanchez out to his left. And it's going to be a keeper from Ugart. He cuts back up the middle, and he reaches into the end zone for a touchdown, John. Breaking tackles and gets into the end zone. A big, big drive from Tri-State to start the second half.
Well, we talked about it pregame that it took Tri-State to get to that second half against Roanoke to really explode, and we finally see what Ugart does best on the keeper. Boom. Breaks some ankles there, but he runs into trouble, but keeps driving, keeps pushing. Look at the leg power. Getting over the goal line for 6.
Big effort right there from Ugart. That's what he brings, though. We've said it all game long. He's been under pressure quite a bit. They did quite a good job on that drive of mixing in some passes and some runs. I think they'll try to continue to do that to keep Bravest off balance. I would note that Masonette did fumble, and that was wiped out by FDNY offsides. The 2-point conversion he throws to Jamar Sanchez, throws behind him, that pass incomplete. So that'll just be 6, so 10-6 the score.
Yeah, Anthony Phipps takes the helmet off. He's been busy back there in the secondary for FDNY. Good coverage by Phipps, preventing the 2-point conversion.
All right, so that's it for the end of that drive. Obviously, a great job there by Ugart to get it to 10-6. Now we have ourselves a ball game. We'll hit a quick break right now and come back with more action after this.
We frequently either stop looking for signs of hope and praying for a swift end to our agonizing pain. As one who has walked down this road, I can honestly say that nothing I have ever done has given me more hope, more relief. I renew my courage like my relationship to ECAN, especially the reception of my new best friend, Dozer.
Back, live action from St. Peter's High School. NPSFL Action National Public Safety Football League. Tri-State Shields, FDNY Bravest. FDNY Bravest holding a 10-6 lead. But this coming on the heels of a touchdown drive. Mixing in some passes and some runs. A key penalty from FDNY Bravest. It leads to David Ugart kicking off right here. And that is a short one. It'll be fair caught by Ortega. Oh, it doesn't make it to the landing zone there. So Ortega waves off, picking up the ball there. And we will see exactly where this drive will start.
And we got a Tommy Herrick sighting on the sideline, number 81. Tommy Herrick, the longest tenured member of this FDNY team. 17 years and counting for the receiver, Tommy Herrick. He even got his hair cut this year, everybody. No more WWE style for Tommy Herrick, but all kidding aside, one of the smartest guys on this FDNY team. His football IQ is off the charts, and this will officially be Tommy Herrick's last season in uniform for FDNY. And the only guy with that's right on his heels is Selazitsky, the linebacker for FDNY, 16th seasons.
All right, handoff on first down from their own 35-yard line. Excuse me, their own 40-yard line. Who was that on the carry? That was Kasim Thomas. That's good for 5 yards. So it'll be second down and 5 from their own 45-yard line. By the way, 17 years is a pretty good run. I know it's his last season, but I'd take a 17-year run.
Man,
Tommy Herrick.
Absolutely. The guy looks like he's 16. It's amazing. And phenomenal, keeps himself in phenomenal shape. Ivan Manji, everybody. What is this, a VIP Who's Who segment? 45 years young. Look at this guy set up at D-end. Tore his ACL and MCL less than a year ago, and he's out of the field, and he's putting on the pressure. Manji. But word for the pressure from Manji. Who knows what Wheeler might have done on that play. So Ivan Manji, the president, and putting on the pressure right here, favoring that knee maybe just a little bit. He takes the hot, cold baths every day and works out like an animal. And I want to also give a special shout-out to Ivan Manji's family.
Rob Wheeler rolls out there after the pressure from Manji and makes it a 3rd and 2 from their own 48. Snap a little high there. Hands off to Thomas, who gets across the 50-yard line and down to the 42-yard line. That's a 10-yard run for Kasim Thomas. It'll be 1st and down from the Tri-State 42.
Before I forget Ivan Manji, before we move on from him, a shout out to Janice, his wife, Evan. It's his son Evan's 20th birthday today. So, Ivan, happy birthday to your son, Evan, 20 years young today. And 4-year-old Bella and Bailey is 2. And Ivan is one of the hardest working guys I know with the Joint Terrorism Task Force in New York City.
All right, here we go. Wheeler in shotgun with Kasim Thomas next to him. He gets the handoff to Thomas.
There he is!
Maji just missed a tackle on that.
Yeah, but he slowed him down.
Thomas with a gain of 4.
With the head down like, hey, I wanted that one. He's got to stop beating himself up. It's just a miracle he's even out there.
I mean, 2 plays in a row is creating pressure.
Look at this guy, 45 years old. It's unbelievable. And also, I wanted to give a shout out to Joe Herman, who got injured last year and will not be back this year. Such a distinguished, tremendous player for the fire department of New York.
Oh, broken play there. They had Heedles coming in motion, the handoff from Wheeler, and they bumped into one another, and it creates a 5-yard loss on the play. Just a miscommunication there. Calabrese, Heedles, and Elam, I believe, all in the same exact spot.
So that's going to bring up 3rd and 3, Mike. A big play. Tri-State needs a stop.
All right, in shotgun, standing on his own 50-yard line, 3rd and long here for Wheeler. He throws it out. He's got Ortega complete. 1st down inside the 30-yard line of Tri-State. So on 3rd and 13, they get the conversion. A big 1st down there, John.
Mike, Eric Ortega. I mean, he was like a man all alone on an island out there. Ortega's like, give me the ball. I got no one near me. A great job by Wheeler. And let Ortega do the rest. A little shimmy at the end. And Ortega doing what Eric Ortega does best. Get open. And Wheeler told me about his relationship with Ortega and how much he has helped him. And what a high IQ Ortega has as one of the leaders of this FDNY team.
Ortega's St. Peter's alum, right? So he played high school ball right here on this
Says
field.
a lot about this spot right here.
Wheeler on the keeper there. I don't know if that was a broken play, but he tucked and ran for a few yards. Picked up about 4. It'll be 2nd and 6. Okay, we got Wheeler in shotgun with Elam, and you got Waterman in motion here.
Back is blitzing.
And Wheeler dropped for a loss.
Here comes the boom. Tri-State's like a whole different team in this second half. Watch the pressure from the right side.
Joey Maniscalco.
And Maniscalco again wreaking havoc. Not the biggest guy out there, but he is fast.
All right, it'll be 3rd and 13 here for Bravest. 10-6 lead, 4 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Wheeler back to pass, looking downfield, getting flushed out of the pocket. Over the middle, is that complete? What a catch. Great catch, great throw. Great composure by Wheeler to get that one downfield, complete for 14 to Ortega yet again. 1st down, FDNY Bravest.
And Mike, with time like this, the throw was there and it was perfect. It couldn't have been thrown any better. Maniscalco was draped all over Ortega like a wet suit. And Wheeler put it exactly where it needed to be. And again, credit the offensive line for the fire department. Lots of time for Rob Wheeler.
we go. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line for FDNY Bravest. Wheeler, quick hitter to Ortega on the right side. He makes a move. Nothing really there. Maybe good for a yard. It'll be 2nd and 10 for FDNY Bravest based on the spot.
Another guy that's looked good on the O-line today for the FDNY, number 74, Kenny Surratt. And number 85 as well, Adam Jensen out of Wagner College, 6'6", 260. We had mentioned earlier just 2 guys back from this O-line in 2024. So a revamped offensive line is looking pretty darn good for the fire department.
All right, 2nd and 10, Wheeler back to pass. He's got Ortega again, 1st down. Inside the 10-yard line, be 1st and goal, John.
Mike, Eric Ortega is just such a pro. He runs his routes with such beautiful ease. And the relationship that he's got with Wheeler, they trust each other. They watch a lot of film. And a little juke there by Ortega. He is just smooth and slippery.
His quickness is such a huge asset. They're obviously trying to get him the ball on these quick-hitting screen passes, and then something like that, you get him out in the open, he picks up 12 and a 1st down.
What's Ortega? I think this is around his 9th season, 8th or 9th, ninth, and he knows what he's doing. And there's a lot of leadership and experience on this FDNY team. Maybe not as much youth, but I don't know. You know what they say.
Wheeler on the keeper, fake pitch out to Marco Babby, but he keeps it good for a couple of yards. He's 2nd down and goal from the 8.
Sorry, Mike. Haven't heard Bobby's name too much today. Another mainstay offensively over the years for the fire department.
You're saying he knows where to be. And it's a result of really the experience. He played here at St. Peter's High School, moves on, plays at Pace University, now 9 years.
That's right.
These may not be NFLers, many of them, but they have a ton of experience playing football. So Ortega knows where to be and when to be there.
We got trips to the right here, Mike Blewett.
Yeah.
Keep your eye on number 10.
Wheeler back to pass. He's under pressure. He's rolling out to his left, and he's looking for somebody in the end zone and is knocked out of bounds. Big hit delivered there by Tri-State. Number 44, Brian Malone. You've mentioned his name a few times.
Yeah, Malone is a nasty, tough, fast player. And at one point I thought Heedles was open in the back of the end zone, but Malone says, "Welcome to Staten Island," as he just barrels Wheeler out of bounds.
Malone with the Yonkers Fire Department.
All right, well, and a Stepanak kid.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Joe Massarella, I should say.
Oh, into the end zone, touchdown. Wow. Wheeler really, with a stutter step there, threw off the defense, and he just sliced right through them for the touchdown. The keeper, easy money for Rob Wheeler.
And you know what? Rob Wheeler getting a little payback at me when I'm like, hey, you should have kept it Calabrese. What I loved about that run right there, Mike, was the patience, the calmness of number 3. He didn't panic with the football. Right here, he kind of waits for something to develop, sees the hole, bang.
Number 8, Daniel Perez. I think he's thrown off by Wheeler maybe faking a pitch right there.
Yeah.
He stuttered, and then Wheeler blew right past him into the end zone.
Just a great subtle move by Wheeler.
Extra point up and good from Cole. That makes it 17-6. So Tri-State's really going to have to do a lot of what they did in the third quarter. As the third quarter comes to a close, we move on to fourth quarter action with the FDNY Bravest leading 17-6 live from St. Peter's High School in Staten Island.
frequently either stop looking for signs of hope and praying for a swift end to our agonizing pain. As one who has walked down this road, I can honestly say that nothing I have ever done has given me more hope, more relief, or renew my courage like my relationship to ECAN, especially the reception of my new best friend, Dozer.
All right, you're going to have a kickoff here from Francis Cole. FundTheFirst.com is the #1 trusted and free fundraising platform for those who serve their families and their friends. Fund the First is in the business of supporting first responders, military, and medical professionals. Visit FundTheFirst.com today to launch your fundraiser. See if Francis Cole can launch a kick here into the end zone. Huge weapon here. You got Ramel Joseph in the back along with Miguel Masonette. See if they can make something happen on this kickoff. Cole booms it. It's right to Masonette, though. He's going to, he let it bounce, and now he's going to pick it up on the hesitation, and he's out across the 20-yard line up to the 24. Decent field position based on what happened to them earlier. So be 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line for Tri-State, John.
Yeah, I can't also underscore how physical a game this has been, Mike. It's been a war out there. There's a lot of big hitting going on. We're used to seeing that against the police department and, well, all season long here in the NPSFL, but got to give both of these guys credit for the work they do during their day jobs, Mike, and volunteering to play out here. No NIL money in the NPSFL.
No, it's all for the love of the game here. We're going to have more games coming up for both of these teams. Tri-State faces NYPD on May 10th. FDNY faces in Nashville. They'll play the Chicago PD Enforcers on May 3rd.
Oh, my goodness.
Big play
This
there
hit
from
by
FDNY Bravest.
number 50. Carteron.
St. Peter's alum, Jason Carter.
Watch this. Oh, my God. Just boom. Just textbook. Right out of the NFL handbook.
Him and Eric Ortega making plays on their high school field. It's got to be feel good.
Yeah, no spearing. Just midsection, shoulder to the side.
Ugart gets a quick one out. Whoa. Wow. Very difficult to describe what happened there, but I'll do my best.
And it's the big fella. The 330-pound Jacob Cabrera, who got slammed to the turf after paying a little patty cake with his teammate.
All right, so Ugart throws a quick hitting pass out to Ramel Joseph. It deflects off his hands, but directly into the hands of Jacob Cabrera, their right tackle. And he is taken to the ground after a gain. There are flags down.
Yeah, that's a horse.
Get a face mask.
It looks like a horse collar too.
Face mask.
We got Moody on a couple right there.
Yeah, I think you're right. Okay. All right, we'll take a quick break here. Come back with more action. Okay, we're back with action here. After a 15, so that crazy play happens. They throw to Joseph. It deflects off his hands into the offensive lineman's hands. As he's getting tackled, face mask, 15-yard penalty. The result of first down at their own 45.
17-6, Mike. This is an important drive right here. Tri-State gets a break on the Moody penalty.
All right, Ugart in the backfield in shotgun along with Masonette. got Okovi in motion, but they hand it right up the middle to Masonette, who's dropped right at the line of scrimmage. Second and 10 from the 45.
What a hit. That was number 50 for FDNY.
Down the tackle, Masonette on carry.
All right, second and 10 here. We've got Sherman back in the backfield with Ugart. Masonette, Okovi set out wide to his right, along with Joseph. And Ugart back to pass. He's flushed out of the pocket to his left. He back across the middle to Sherman. That's complete. That pass good for 12 yards and a first down. Great job by Ugart. Complete to Sherman for the first down. They're in FDNY territory.
And the push continues by Ugart, who is willing his way on this series for the Shields.
All right, first and 10 from the FDNY Bravest 44-yard line. Taking a look to the sidelines and may have an audible here. They put Masonette in motion. He goes to the other side. You got Okovi, Joseph out wide, Sherman in the backfield. And on first down, Ugart back to pass again. He's got Masonette complete at the 40-yard line. Good for 7 yards. It'll be 2nd and 3 inside the 40. So Tri-State doing the hurry up, showing some urgency, picking up a few first downs.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the way to do it. Anthony Phipps there. If I'm Anthony Phipps and I got to take on a load like Masonette, and Anthony Phipps, 6 feet, generously listed at 172 pounds, is fearless.
Masonette
at
at 5
D-back position, too.
All right, Ugart back to pass again, under pressure on the blitz, and he took a shot to the ribs there. Did not allow him to follow through or get the ball there. So, nice play there.
They send them all, Mike.
Yeah, they did.
Watch this. Ugart is absolutely swallowed. An all-out blitz by the fire department. Not one, not two, but 3 Bravest players, including Jason Carteron, who continues to emerge here in Game 1, 2025.
Shot right to the gut of Ugarte. We got a false start there. Masonette, I think, headed across the line of scrimmage before the snap. So it'll be 3rd. That's a big penalty there. It goes from 3rd and 4 to about 3rd and 9. Before we get back to that play, the Billy Moon Foundation organ donation can have a profound impact on not just a recipient, but donors and communities as well. We strive to be that lifeline of support for those in need. Visit BillyMoonFoundation.org for more information on how you can register to become an organ donor today. Here's Ugart in the shotgun. Masonette coming across the line of scrimmage. And that snap does not reach him. Ugart has to get on the move. He's flushed out, and he breaks a couple of tackles. He's going to make the first down here across the 30, pointing at his blockers. He's across the 25-yard line for a first down. Huge play from Ugart. A game-breaking play there, potentially, for Ugart.
Little lemonade from Levens, Mike. Ugart. 1, 2. Hassan can't bring him down. And off he goes. Ugart, who had well over 100 yards on the ground in week 3. Action against Roanoke. Back at it here in quarter 3.
All right, 11 minutes left in the game. Ugart back to pass. He gets Okovi over the middle, incomplete. That was 1st and 10 from the 25, incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 25-yard line. Bravest doing their best to get some new blood on the field, give their defense a little bit of a rest. They've been on the field for a few minutes.
Credit Khalifa Forbes with excellent coverage for the fire department.
All right, Ugart back to pass. The lefty rolls out to his left, and he's going to go. He's stiff-arming Justin Hassan, who brings him down. A combination tackle there. I thought he got a hand on his face mask on that one.
Hassan wasn't taking no for an answer on that one.
No kidding.
But it's Ugart's awareness. He felt the pressure from the right. He goes left. Hassan says, you can do whatever you want to me. You're not getting away this time.
Richie Richardson comes in to help clean up the tackle. And we'll head to a break right now and come back with more NPSFL action.
I play Lieutenant Dan.
Hello, I'm Gary Sinise, and while you may recognize me from movies or television, my life's mission has been to honor and support our nation's veterans, servicemen and women, first responders, our most severely wounded heroes, the families of our fallen, and those suffering from the invisible wounds of war.
I appreciate everything that you do for our troops.
Thank you for what you do for these veterans.
What you do for the soldiers, God bless you.
I lost my dad.
I know, and we want to show you that we don't forget your dad.
It's meaningful.
Yeah.
Because I didn't expect any of this, I was just happy to be alive. So when everyone showed their love and support, it's overwhelming.
Please join me to help us help our defenders who keep us safe and our communities strong. Donate today at GarySineseFoundation.org.
All right, 3rd and 6 from the 20-yard line. Ugart back to pass, out to Masonette, complete across the 20, into the end zone, touchdown Masonette. Wow. Explosive play. They got the quick hitter right out of the timeout. Masonette breaks a couple of tackles, and we've got a touchdown for Tri-State.
Well, we talked about the importance of this drive and how Ugart kept pecking away, and here you see vintage Masonette give this guy some room. You see he protects the football, threads the needle, and drives his way into the end zone. Miguel Masonette, and folks, we got a ball game.
John Esposito just missed the tackle as Masonette broke it and got into the end zone. So Tri-State really liked that look coming out of it, and they're going to try to go for 2 here to make this a 17-14 ball game, kind of an important 2-point conversion to get him within a field goal. And Ugart back to pass, and that is incomplete. Sails over the head of number 3, Jamar Sanchez.
Anthony Phipps there again with excellent coverage. And Ugart surprised he didn't get a better look. Not the greatest 2-point attempt that we've seen from Ugart, but needless to say, Tri-State right back in it, Mike.
Yeah, 17-12, a stop, and they're going to have an opportunity to take a lead in this game. ECAD, Educated Canines, assisting with disabilities. Their mission is to enable people with disabilities to gain greater independence and mobility through the use of specially educated dogs. Visit ecad1.org to learn more about our Service Dogs program.
And Mike, how about on your 6 bourbon whiskey? Inspired by everyday heroes like nurses, police officers, teachers, and firefighters who make this country so loved and respected, we keep the military tradition of grabbing a drink to celebrate someone who's got your 6. Visit onyour6.com today to purchase your first bottle. Mike, I could use a little swig of that right now.
Yeah, I'd like to use it over ice. A little warm up in the booth today, but I'm not afraid of it either, John. So just a little recap of what's been going on in the league so far this year. We have Chicago PD and Forces are 2-0. They lead their division in Division 1. Tri-State obviously had a victory against Roanoke Rampage. 1-0 on the season, 42-14. Trying to get to 2-0, trailing here in the fourth quarter, but they have an opportunity, John.
Absolutely. I mean, we got ourselves a ball game responding after some halftime adjustments. Tri-State right back in it. Ugart marching down the field. Masonette capping it off with 6. And we'll see how the rest of it goes as Tri-State will kick off here after the touchdown.
All right, Ugart again does not make it to the landing zone. And that will give Bravest the ball at the 40-yard line. So that's not what they needed, giving the FDNY Bravest that kind of field position.
Hey, you know, I wanted to talk a little bit about Cam Peak before this game escapes. Cam Peak was the Ellis Island Lifetime Achievement Award winner and only the 5th head coach in FDNY history. His 4th season. I said 5th earlier the game, apologies. But Cam Peak, 4th season as the head coach of the FDNY. I want to congratulate him on his Ellis Island Lifetime Achievement Award.
Congrats to Coach Peak. He had won 15 in a row before that loss to NYPD last June that you and I covered. Here we are. We're back. And that is Calabrese with a throw. And Evan Flowers lays out for the catch. That will be a first down. Exactly 10 yards on the catch. Diving catch by Evan Flowers.
There's Vinny Sheeta, everybody, the new offensive coordinator for the FDNY. Great guy, Vinny Sheeta. And there's Cam Peak in his 4th season, the head coach to the right. Cam, a national champion and Fun City Bowl champion and a recipient of the Ellis Island Lifetime Achievement Award.
Okay, Calabrese back in here in the 4th quarter, a handoff to Elam, and he gets 2 on the play. So it'll be 2nd down and 8 from the Tri-State 48. Obviously the goal here twofold for FDNY. Grind some clock, get the ball in the end zone, put this game away.
Yeah, key part of the ball game right now, although, Mike, there is plenty of time, and you got to wonder, with this being the first game, how gassed does the FDNY Bravest have to get?
Like we've said, unseasonably warm, too. Pretty hot here today, Staten Island.
Twins to the right.
Calabrese throws. Oh, nice toss to Ortega. First down. Great throw and catch.
So intended receiver Ortega, he pops up right after taking a big hit. And he's got a couple of words as well. He says, yeah, keep coming, big boy. Ortega, boom. You see the head snap back. But he is tough. Ortega bounces right back up. Says, you got to do better than that. Says, I'll hold on to it no matter what. Ortega with the strong hands.
Between him playing at Pace University, 9 years here, 17 football seasons. It's nothing to be scoffed at.
He's been through the wars.
Oh, Calabrese on a great fake, and he keeps it. He gets outside to his left and across the 30, down to the 25. Not yet a first down. It'll be 2nd and they do give him the first.
And Calabrese on the foot. Look at the block here by Ortega. Calabrese, there it is right there. Ortega, he can catch, he can block, and he's protecting the youngster on a big run for the FDNY. Ortega, man, he just does everything, Mike. You cannot say enough about number 4, Eric Ortega.
We talked about him being one of the key players, a leader on this team. He played high school football here, and he's having a big day today. That one up the middle, Nick Sumter on the carry.
And
he does not want to go down, refuses to go down.
I think I heard the PA guy call him the bus. He kind of looks a little like a Jerome Bettis going up the middle right there. What is Howard Stern? The self-proclaimed king of all media, the self-proclaimed king of the MTA, Sumter, bus-like up the middle.
5'8",
And a good call right there by Vinny Sheeta. Just let's on first down get a couple up the middle.
Yeah, so just about 6 minutes to go in the game. 2nd down and 7 here. You got Calabrese in the backfield, fakes to Sumter. He rolls out and tosses it to Flowers. Good for a few. Not going to get them the first down. But it'll be 3rd and 4 from the 20-yard line.
And I like the awareness there by Sumter. I know it was a quick dump off for a couple of yards. But Calabrese. Calabrese had a little bit of a hesitation there, pulled up, dumped it off. Instead of, I don't know, trying to be a hero and run for a couple extra, I liked his calmness on the run.
Big play here for FDNY, John. This will be 3rd down and about 4 with just over 5 minutes to go. If they pick up a first down here, they're going to grind a couple more minutes off the clock. So an important play for Tri-State to try to get a stop.
I'm thinking it's going to be Ortega
Needles
again.
In motion.
No,
they
I'm
hand
wrong.
it off to Elam, and he's got the first down and more. Grinding inside the 10-yard line down to the 6. A huge first down for FDNY with a 5-point lead and under 5 minutes to go. FDNY is starting to put their stamp on the end of this game.
And Elam with a huge hole. I thought we were going to see a pass, but Elam says, I got this. So just a great call, Mike.
Yeah.
And I cannot say enough about this offensive line. The biggest question mark, in my opinion, heading into this game today was what the offensive line was going to look like.
They've had a lot of different guys get carries today, too. You've got Trey Wilson, obviously, Kasim Thomas, Nick Sumter, Trevor Elam, Wheeler and Calabrese on the keepers, obviously.
I've said his name a couple of times, too. Kenny Surratt.
Kenny
Surratt not giving up on the play.
Just get me a whistle there. All right, that was Elam again. He gets it inside the 5-yard line. It's going to be 3rd, 2nd down.
Surratt, Big Adam Jensen, number 52, up front. Jonathan Seda, one of the captains, longtime captains of the FDNY. I don't know, man. Call it a ragtag, but it's working today. I think I heard Vinny Shida or Camp Peak use the word rebuilding at one point. Hey, man, I like what I'm seeing today. And it's all because of this coaching and veteran leadership, Mike.
Approaching 3.5 to go. 2nd and goal from the 3. You got Heedles in motion. Calabrese fumbled the snap, but he hands it to Elam somehow.
So Elam went down, a busted play, Mike, but
they got to the 1.
Converted it to 6 points.
Yeah, that ball skipped it to Calabrese. Elam just stumbles backwards and fights down to the 1-yard line.
He got
timeout here. Who called that? That is Tri-State Shields with the timeout. We'll go to a break and come back with 3rd and goal for FDNY Bravest.
Our mission is providing that support, advocacy, and awareness for organ donation. Be a forever hero, donate life is the message we want to get out there.
As an FDNY firefighter, he was a hero in life. As an organ donor, Billy Moon, also a hero in death.
FDNY firefighter Billy Moon's heart was successfully transplanted into 63-year-old Richard Grell last December.
And as his widow, Christina, processed her heartbreak and her grief, she fulfilled a promise that was made to her husband and donated his organs so others could live. 5 lives were saved in the process.
There are around 103,000 people waiting for a transplant across the country.
One person can save 8 lives and improve up to 75 more.
All right, we're back. 3 minutes, 10 seconds left. 17-12 FDNY. 3rd and goal. This getting 6 here likely puts this game away. But
without a doubt.
Tri-State is clearly going to need a huge stop here. All right, we've got Elam in the backfield with Calabrese. You've got Flowers and Ortega wide out to the left. Handoff up the middle to Elam. Calabrese pushing him. I don't think he got it. He did not get it. It'll be 4th down and goal at the 1. We've got another timeout coming up.
You got to tell the fans, don't go anywhere yet. This thing ain't over. Calabrese with his own version of the tush push. It's not enough. Calabrese pulling out all the stops. But Mike, as you said, if the fire department's able to ice it here, they'll get some much deserved breathing room and a little bit of rest, but it's all going to come down to this play.
Okay, we'll get back to a break and see what happens on 4th down after this.
We're talking about the people who have put their lives on the line for this great country, the people who have lost and paid the greatest price for our freedom, for guys like me to be able to go sing songs about whatever I want to sing about every single night. And we're talking about an organization that helps support families and support the people that are running into the danger that the rest of us are running away from. And that's the kind of people I want to be beside. Those are the real heroes, man. I'm just a big fat guy with a guitar. Hey, y'all, this is Jelly Roll, and I am asking you to give $11 a month to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation is committed to honoring the dignity of the American service member and is committed to helping end homelessness amongst the veteran community and ensure no veteran is left behind. Providing a safe and dignified home is an imperative part of helping veterans who are homeless reclaim their lives.
All right, we are back here, 4th down. 2:59 to go. 17-12, 4th down. FDNY Bravest going for it. Calabrese bumps into Elam, who is stopped short of the goal line. No touchdown.
A huge goal line stand by Tri-State, and the Shields have life. Wow.
3rd and 4th down, both inside the 1, both bad exchanges, and Elam does not have the momentum to get into the end zone. Both snaps were a little funky, the handoff's a little funky, and Tri-State stops them both times. A huge defensive stand.
You know, with the team coached and led by Ivan Manji, among others, what impresses me so much about this is Tri-State's ability to not give up. And there's now 2:54 to go. And 5 points separate these two teams, Mike. It's 17-12. But what a goal line stand by Tri-State.
That'll be 1st down here from inside their own 1-yard line. So not a lot of breathing room, but also not a lot of time to mess around. 2 minutes, 54 seconds left in the game. Shotgun formation, Ugart looking for a pass downfield. Oh, big play by Khalifa Forbes. I thought he had the game-ending interception, but he knocks it away. Big play by Forbes.
Khalifa Forbes just put the radar in on this one. He telegraphs it perfectly, jumps in front. Love the anticipation here by Forbes. And with the one hand, almost makes a spectacular interception, but just shy. Beautiful coverage by Forbes.
Okay, Forbes with a big play there. It'll be 2nd and 10 from inside their 1. Obviously looking to throw here. A batch snap here. Ugart on the delay. He's going to scramble, and he's going to throw way downfield. He's got Ramel Joseph.
Oh!
Just overthrows him. Incomplete. That would have been a massive play and would have obviously impacted the outcome of this game in a huge way. Tough play for Ugart on the run. He's got the arm strength. He just overthrows Joseph.
We've talked about Ramel Joseph today several times, and Ugart on the run. For those who've never played football, you got to say Joseph's wide open. But when you're on the run, getting accuracy is so hard as a quarterback. Ugart running nearly full speed. Man, I'm sure he'd like to have that one back, though. Yeah. Unreal.
Timothy Dollison, who played at Temple for FDNY Bravest, was in coverage there. Joseph had a step on him, but that pass incomplete.
Mike, I said they had life. That could have been the go-ahead 6 for Tri-State right there. FD really dodged a bullet.
They did. Third down for Ugart. And he throws away downfield. He's got, that one's picked off. Big play there. Christian Ballara with the interception. I think some confusion there. Okobe was the intended receiver, but he was headed upfield and clearly not on the same page with Ugart on that one. Big play by Ballara.
You really can't say enough about Christian Ballara either. His coverage has been incredible all day long. We've said his name over and over. We talk about him being undersized. Again, watch the anticipation here. Ugart kind of puts that in the DMZ zone, in the middle of nowhere. And stepping up, it's Malera for a interception that's essentially going to ice the game now.
Yeah, we're still in front of the 2-minute warning, so
just needs to chew up as much clock as they can here, Mike, before the 2-minute warning.
They pick up a first down, game's over. There is an opportunity, if they utilize their timeouts here, for Tri-State to get the ball back, I believe. All right, Wheeler with the pitch out to Elam. He picks up a couple, gets it inside the 20, down to the 18-yard line, and Tri-State uses that timeout. So since 9/11, we've been helping America's heroes by providing mortgage-free homes to Gold Star and fallen first responder families. We're also committed to eradicating veteran homelessness and helping America to never forget September 11, 2001. Visit T2T.org for more information or to make your donation today.
Hey, you know, before we wrap this up here, there's plenty of football to play. I had a great chat with John Gormley prior to the game, the longtime assistant for the Fire Department of New York. He's involved with special events. I also want to give a shout-out to Andy Singleton for the incredible amount of hard work that he's done. But John Gormley, a couple of tours in Afghanistan and Iraq, 2003, particularly as a naval F-14 pilot, and they had a one raid that Gormley had, and on one of the weapons, I'll say, were written the names of several firefighters lost on 9/11, including John Heffernan, who was a firefighter who died on 9/11. And I wanted to give a shout-out to the 23 firemen that died from this football team in 2001 and the 343 firefighters that died on 2001 as well, and in addition to all of our bravest in blue.
Their sacrifice will never be forgotten, certainly not by us or people watching this broadcast. Here's Wheeler on second down. He scrambles, and he gets out of bounds. That is not a smart play by Wheeler. He stops the clock in front of the 2-minute warning. That was not what they wanted to do. He needed to slide there to drain clock.
I'm surprised to see Wheeler run it out, but either way, we're now approaching the 2-minute warning. 5 points between these two teams.
Now it's a 2-minute.
They're
2-minute warning now. Okay. There we go. So they didn't stop the clock there. That's why he went out of bounds. But we're going to be at a 2-minute warning. It'll be third down and short, 2 or 3. And if they pick up that first down, ball game. If not, you got a decision to make. Do you kick the field goal to go up 8, or do you try to push to get the first down on 4th and put the game away?
Look, I mean,
I know what Dan Campbell from the Detroit Lions would do. What does Cam Peake do in that situation?
I would say I would go with the Dan Campbell approach. How about that?
Yeah. I like it.
That being said, there's always a shot at a turnover.
Yep.
So if you can get the 3 points, Mike, you got the sure foot in in Francis. So why not kick the field goal?
Yeah. At the Gary Sinise Foundation, we serve our nation by honoring our defenders, veterans, first responders, their families, and those in need. We do this by creating and supporting unique programs designed to entertain, educate, inspire, strengthen, and build communities. Visit GarySiniseFoundation.org to learn more and how you can contribute to our mission.
Now, I'm getting lessons here. Some voiceover lessons from Mike Blewett, thank gosh.
I'm not as good as
Taking
you, buddy.
Vegas, everybody. If you're serious about winning some money, stop what you're doing and head to takingvegas.com. Their free play record this year is 22-12. Right now, they're offering 7 free days of their top play service for our NPSFL network audience. Winning is great, but Taking Vegas is legendary. How was that, Mike?
Visit takingvegas.com to start winning today. See, you have far more personality in your reads. I just do the straight read. I'm the straight man. You're the personality guy. All right, here's the handoff. Oh, and Sumter gets the first down. Right up the middle. Nothing fancy about that at all. Give it to the fullback. The bus.
It's the First Avenue bus, living up to the name.
All right, Nick
So
Sumter with the carry. That gets the first down, and we are running out the clock. That should do it. John's going to head down for a post-game interview. I'll take you the rest of the way. Should be just kneeling it out here for 2 more plays. Again, like John said, thank you to all that these players do off this field, sacrificing themselves each and every day for our safety. Thank you to Andy Singleton for organizing these broadcasts, to T&D Sports Production for providing all the great camera work and replays today for us, Tom, Jamie, Evan. And we'll have some time to go through a few other highlights from today. If you're watching, who do you think was the MVP? Let us know in the comments. Eric Ortega had a big day. You had the block kick, and that was Alan Prockett on the block. Khalifa Forbes on the recovery for the touchdown. Rob Wheeler and Peter Calabrese mixed it up at quarterback today. Wheeler on the keeper for the touchdown. Francis Cole with a field goal today. A couple of extra points. Defensively, FDNY Bravest defensive line was excellent. Everybody contributing. Denzel Wilson, Kumi Stevens, Jason Carter playing on his high school field for St. Peter's. Had a big couple of plays. Justin Hassan, really a bunch of tackles today. He looks like a force to be reckoned with in this league. So here you see those guys lining up for the handshake. Congratulations to the FDNY Bravest on their first victory of the year, and to the Tri-State Shields for a very competitive matchup today on a beautiful day at St. Peter's Boys High School. We're going to head to a break right now and come back with John's post-game interview.
Ever wonder who helps our everyday heroes when they need support? Enter fundthefirst.com, a unique crowdfunding platform dedicated to first responders, their families, and their friends. Unlike typical sites, we don't take a cut. Every dollar goes directly to those in need. Whether it's for emergency medical bills, family emergencies, or equipment, fundthefirst.com is there. It's our chance to give back to those who risk it all for us. From police officers to firefighters, these heroes deserve our support. Want to make a real impact? Check out fundthefirst.com and show our heroes that we've got their backs. It's time to support those who always support us.
One and 0 sound. What could have been any number of guys to be our player of the game. The final, FDNY 17 17-12 over Tri-State. As you see the guys shaking hands behind me. Eric Ortega, what can you say? Out of ladder 170, this guy does it all. We saw some key blocks from you today. We saw some key receptions from you today. But what spoke to me most today, Eric, about you is the leadership you provide on this team that a lot of critics were having a lot of questions about after you losing 28 guys in 2024. A brand new team in 2025. I think you silenced a lot of the critics out there today with this big win.
They can say what they want. This is Iron Man football. We rely on one another. Guys going both ways. This is what we do. We have blood in it, and blood in, blood out.
Tell me a little bit about what you were expecting today against a Tri-State team that looked pretty darn good in a blowout win against Roanoke.
We knew it was going to be a dogfight. They always play us tough. It is what it is.
Tell me a little bit about the play of your quarterback, Wheeler. We also got to see the rookie get in there for a couple of reps as well. I guess it's sort of a next man up, whatever it takes mentality, and we saw a lot of solid play offensively from you guys overall.
Yeah, we have offensive linemen, defensive linemen going both ways, quarterbacks. It's a win by committee. That's what football's all about.
And just your offensive line, only 2 guys back this year, a bit of a patchwork. They look pretty good as well. Tell me a little bit about the routes you were running today and how important it is for you to be connected to your quarterback, Wheeler. You're so smart out there. Your routes are so precise. Walk us through the work you put in to get so good at that.
It's just chemistry. We got to get the reps in at practice. We know what we want to do. We know what we want to attack, and we just rep it out in practice, and it is what it is. I rely on him. He relies on me, and we rely on the O-line, and it's a beautiful thing.
One of the captains of this team, Eric Ortega, one of our players of the game today as well. FDNY off to a 1-0 start as they take their first game of 2025 in the NPSFL, 17-12 over the Tri-State Shields. Eric, good luck the rest of the way, and thanks for your time.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
We'll send it back upstairs to Mikey B.
So you can see the players gathered around for a post-game celebration. They obviously have a great amount of respect for one another, as do we here in this broadcast booth and on this broadcast. FDNY 17, Tri-State Shields 12. FDNY moves to 1-0. It's their 16th win in their last 17 games, one of the forces in this National Public Safety Football League. Tri-State Shields falls to 1-1, but after a big victory in Week 1, I'm sure they'll bounce back soon. Next games for these two teams, you have the FDNY playing in Nashville against the Chicago PD Enforcers. That's on May 3rd. And then Tri-State will take on the New York City Police Department on May 10th. You have some other games between then, the LAPD Centurions and San Diego Enforcers, Orange County Lawmen, and the San Bernardino Spartans. So there's plenty more action on the National Public Safety Football League. You should follow us on YouTube for the upcoming games, and I'll be sure to be on the call the next time FDNY Bravest is playing in the New York area. But on behalf of John Heffern and everybody at TD&D Sports Production, I'm Mike Blewett signing off from the National Public Safety Football League. Have a happy Easter. Have a happy Passover. Thank you for watching. Talk to you again soon.